Hello. Good morning. Welcome. Oh my gosh, something's gone horribly wrong with the.
No, already?
Yeah, I revealed some things that should not have been revealed.
Ooh.
No, it's
Jason,
just.
there's a website for that.
I know. I know. Um, and we're live streaming it with no editing. There we go. Fixed it. Hi, I'm Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. I hope you're okay. The stream is probably okay. And we're here to play Urban Shadows. It's a kind of Dirk urban fantasy.
Dirk.
Derpity derp.
And we've had some adventures. There was a whole saga where we were dealing with a wizard of the city who was very much up her own business and had to be taken down a notch. And you know, that is actually what happened. You all broke in, took her stuff, and you know, she's having to deal with that. The wizard faction has sanctioned Belle's shop, but honestly it hasn't affected it that much.
Nah.
Then you know, to take the thing that you stole from Mrs. Lane, that wizard, made a deal with the vampires who wanted the thing, and found out that the vampires were doing a deal with the werewolves to help protect them from a new faction in town. We don't even know for sure what circle they're from, but a faction of motorcycle riders who seem, you know, just strong and tough and, you know, able to go toe-to-toe with werewolves and vampires, so, you know, whatever they happen to be. And since then, kind of made nice with them, had the opportunity to do a deal with them, and it turns out what they really wanted was for you all to provide them with with human heads. With human heads. They didn't actually need to be mortal. Like a vampire head or werewolf head or whatever would suffice. So, that's kind of the big picture of how we got here. Our mutual friend Kimmy has a new RPG in the works, and one of the recap mechanics in it that I really like is that you go around and everybody says, okay, last week on Santa Sombra, and then you say something about, you know, how your character got up to shenanigans. And also feel free to paint it in the rosiest light of, like, this can be your character's, like, personal perception of, like, here's how I saved the day. Here's why everyone should be grateful to me. Because this is also a game of, like, selfish monster creatures. And we're not the good guys. We are the baddies, actually.
We are 100% the baddies.
But we're not the only ones, and there are worsies. Yep, that's a word. So why don't we go around and do introductions, and then we'll go back around and do our last week on. So, Jay, who are you?
Sure. Today I am Belle, the Imp Playbook, a modest, simple shop owner trying to turn an honest buck in a very dishonest town. That's all. That's all I want to do.
Yep.
That's it.
Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I play the Wizard Playbook. My character is Sarah Hartunian. Just your average burgeoning necromancer, upper middle-aged bartender lady who is apparently good in scrap.
All right.
And we'll definitely ask you what kind of undead you are in without regard for whether that's rude or not.
Awesome. Pooja.
Hello, I am playing Pooja, or once again, I am playing Asmita with the Tainted Playbook. I mean, I'm just out there, like, outing myself as, like, not a real person. I'm gonna get in trouble.
What playbook is
Outing.
Pooja?
So, yes, Asmita from the Tainted Playbook, and she is out there just making sure that other people don't make the same mistake she did. by making new mistakes.
And has met the softest boy.
I do like the soft boy. He reminds me of me before I got all like, monstery.
I love it. I love it. And Joey.
Hey, I'm Joey. I am playing Ryan Rosenthal, the Fae, aka team captain of Team Fuck Around. Social media
What about the
influencer.
other? Is that the whole?
There's
team
another?
name?
That's the other team. I don't care about that.
Okay.
I don't know that other team.
What? I don't
I've
know
never
her.
met them.
And has never done anything wrong in his life ever.
We know this
So-
and we love you.
He's sweetheart of Santa Sombra. Yeah, but no, Faye and resident troublemaker, and again, captain of Team Fuck Around.
Love it. And then let's start with you, Joey, and reverse back through. What happened last week on Santa Sombra?
Last week on Santa Sombra, Ryan was left in the lurch after Bell selfishly saved himself from an armed assailant and had to turn himself into a coyote and return to Bell's shop and very graciously forgave Bell and decided to camp out on his couch wearing clothes that didn't quite fit as opposed to being naked because he's compassionate and considerate.
It occurred to me re-listening to that that you could probably be Celeste.
Oh
right?
yeah.
That's an ability you have, and at least temporarily, while these clothes don't quite fit you, they would fit Celeste. So you could
It was
lounge around
definitely a
as
choice.
as a Celeste look. Okay. Pooja, what was Asmita up to?
Well, Asmita decided to have a night out, coincidentally at the bowling alley where a pickup was happening, and she met a very soft boy who people were taking advantage of, and that's not okay. So, Lucky, aka Bill, and I talked, and we had some drinks, and I saw one of the people who was taking advantage of him across the street, and I let her know in the strongest possible terms that that was not okay. Coincidentally, also keeping her from following Belle back to his shop. And then Lucky got lucky.
Yep. Sam, I'm gonna skip over you for a second, but then I'm gonna come back and find out what Sarah was up to.
Okay.
But Jay, what happened last week with Belle?
Last week on Santa Sombra, Belle did what Belle is supposed to do, which is complete a business transaction and avoid capture. And that, I felt like, went very smoothly and successfully. And there were no consequences for Belle whatsoever. So I feel like Belle should get some more pats on the back.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
You could
Sure,
use your glass
Jan.
arm to do that.
Yep. Oh yeah, and also Glass Arm is having feelings.
Yep. Belle's right arm, I think.
Yes,
Up
right
to
on.
just a little past the elbow now, but
Well, a little further past the elbow since last week, I'm gonna bet.
yep, is made up of a mosaic of stained glass, very colorful and pretty. It's,
Very red, smoky glass. It's very cool.
yep, I mean it would be a real work of art if it was on a stand somewhere in a museum. People would be like, "Ooh, look at that! That's very interesting."
Yes.
Looks like there's veins and bones inside of there. Ugh.
Oh.
Weird. Oh God, they are. Yeah, I think it's somewhat translucent, and we can kind of see the inner workings of how that arm's put together, because that's horrible. This is sort of a horror-rated show, so.
Yep, that's horrible. This is all working out really well.
Now, to address, oh God, screw this question in chat, it's not a fetish, and I would say keep watching Vault 818 to learn more about Cindy.
Yep.
So, Sam,
Yes.
what was Sarah up to last time?
Sarah was in her sanctum doing some necromancy research, like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What was she able to discover?
Well, I feel like she, you want to start small when you don't accidentally make a bunch of Frankensteins
Right.
in an apartment. So she started with bringing back some smaller beings, like
like an expired bird or squirrel or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like what's
Is it
better than an
expired?
undead raven familiar? So let's start with that.
Sure. Okay. An expired raven. I like it.
Mhm.
But
This
Pooja, are
one was
you
on
okay?
manager's special at the store.
Yeah.
It's about to go off.
Yeah, it's past its date. It's well, I would X card, and I don't think Sam would do this anyway, but if somebody was like, oh, I'm gonna go murder a raven and see if I can bring it back to life, like
Oh, absolutely.
No,
we
no.
don't. That's
She found
like,
one that was already pining for the fjords and just like
yeah.
took that back to the apartment.
Yeah.
Raven.
Yeah, we'll see if it would voom if you put 5,000 volts through it.
Yep.
So, that actually gives me an idea to do a roll about it, Sam. 'Cause that seems important.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm gonna look at something in the rule book. What can you describe a little bit of the fufura around your arrangement?
Ooh,
Like what
yeah.
does your process look like?
Well, for funsies, I think we should always have an assistant in these times. So I think Prudence came over, her ward,
Oh yeah, okay.
to help. And sort of like the magical version of Frankenstein moment. We've got Prudence assisting in the sanctum/lab. We've got Sarah in her, let's go with house coat, because she probably doesn't have a lab coat. So you gotta, sometimes wizarding is messy work. You want to put on something you don't care about just in case. Like some candles. Shut the curtains because you don't want the neighborhood to see what you're doing in there.
Right.
And then from the outside of the building, there's probably just outside like the curtain lines, there's like a weird light show that happens. What's happening in there?
Okay. Is there a lot of electricity involved in your process?
Yeah, I feel like she doesn't use the electricity, but the grid kind of does a like when the magic happens.
Okay, I like that. All right. I was looking at other options because let it out seems so obvious, but I think it is the right way to go.
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind rolling with spirit, I don't know if we're going to be activating one of your playbook let it outs, but we'll do a sort of a custom move.
Okay. Ooh, I get a thread. 2 5s on the dice plus my 1 in spirit is 11.
Oh, that's a
This
lot.
raven goes to
Yo.
11.
That's concerning. Let's see. Where's the? Oh no, that's not what I want. Okay, I'm gonna just scroll down to your character sheet real quick. Curious about your let it out options. Let's see. So normally they are deflect or redirect an oncoming blow, perform a feat of telekinetic strength, detect the presence and function of magical items or spells, reshape the essence or nature of an exposed object or magical spell. Oh, that reshape actually, well, that does a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call it that. So we actually are activating one of your abilities. And because you got a 10 plus, that means you only take corruption or complication, but not both. Unless you really want both. I'm a generous GM.
I think I will take.
That
If I take the corruption, that fills up my corruption track.
Okay, we know that's not good, right?
Oh, but I get things. It's like a gift.
Okay, great. I wanted to make sure the rules were clear.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Consequences.
Until it's
consequences.
done.
Those are for later.
Team fuck around.
Yeah.
May we never find out.
For anyone who may have come to the show, after our first few episodes where we talked about it a bunch, corruption is a separate XP track, experience track in this game. It happens a number of different ways, and when you fill it up, you must take a corruption advancement. But when you take, I think all 6, is it 6?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it should be 6. If
Yeah,
it's not.
6.
You lose your character to corruption. They go away and become a scary NPC in the city, and you have to make a new character. But everything up until then is party time, because corruption moves are powerful and cool and can do a lot of stuff and are very tempting to use. So it's something to be aware of. All right. So, Sarah, do you know which corruption move you want?
Oh yeah. Well, I've been doing more magic, so I think I'm going to take that +1 to any stat. And increase my spirit.
Great. And you don't have to take them in order. I think that came up last time too, but.
Right. I do just want that one. Trust me, I was very tempted by this one that's called Upon a Pale Horse. Mark corruption and speak the true name of an NPC in the scene to inflict 3 harm on them.
Oh my god.
I have a question about that.
Uh-huh.
Is their true name just like their legal name, or is it like...
I think it's probably some sort of mystical combination of sounds that...
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What's the
because
requirements on like learning that?
Right. It would just be the corruption you just marked let you see, or know their true name in that moment. And it's
then
not...
I'm going to take that one instead of the +1.
Okay. Now, I don't think it's something you could tell someone else and they could use it. It's, yeah. And given the context that's arisen, I'm going to say, for our purposes, true names are the thing that sort of tether your soul to this, to your meat mech. And this is what you could do to yank that out of there, and or potentially put something back in. So
I think that makes sense narratively with my necromancy track here.
Yeah, to me as well. So, all right, now your magic went very well, and this raven, we'll say it was pretty recently kaput. So it kind of ruffles its feathers and hops to its feet and looks around and then just stares at you, and it's got these big red eyes instead of the black eyes that ravens usually have, and it's just stare.
She holds out her arm for it to like hop on.
Hop.
Excellent. This is very good. Prudence, make sure you take notes. This is how you revive a raven.
Yeah, I think Prudence, but for folks who, if you've seen Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the character Prudence, that actress is playing Prudence in this game. Not exactly the same character, but that actress, but I think she is somewhat, tries to play it cool a lot of the time. Like her mom is the mayor of Santa Sombra, and is not just like a giggly goofball, but is like, I think her that facade breaks a little bit where she's like, oh my god, that actually worked. And is feverishly scribbling down notes and like taking pictures of the arrangement to make sure it can be recreated, and it's just generally going about being very helpful based on what she just saw.
Sweet. I will ask the raven what his name is.
Oh, well, actually, you know its true name because that's what you just did. You
right. Okay.
called its name back to its body. So,
I don't want to call it that out loud.
yeah, no, it's not. That's not something regular. It's like speaking the orc language in the Elven woods. You know, it's not polite. The language of Mordor should not be spoken.
So we'll call him Reginald.
Reginald. Okay.
It's like if you weren't going to use like 3 demon voices to pronounce the thing, like that kind of sounds like it a little.
Yeah. Self 3-part harmony is tricky. You know, in the best case. Okay. So, there was some back and forth. I think Pancakes was able to come by and pick up the bowling bag. We all pretty well understood there was a head in there. And she took off with that. Then there was some information we got that our friend Burke O'Hare, which I wanted to make sure I had this sorted out. So we have O'Hare and Joey, what's your ex's name?
Claude Burke.
Claude Burke.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so we've got B. O'Hare and Claude B. There we go. Now I will be able to keep that together in my head. Okay, so after that, we had some suspicions about O'Hare's loyalties. And Ryan did a brain jump. Got to experience his conversation with the supernatural police detective.
Steven Stevenson.
Yep. And the result was that O'Hare was not exactly betraying you, but was also sort of acting in his own self-interest and trying to, like, not get in trouble with anyone. So, you know, depending on how you feel about that, maybe you can't blame him, or maybe you're like, no, you should have undying loyalty to me and me only. But...
Or if you're going to try to play all sides, you need to be better at the game.
Yeah.
We do know what he did last summer because that Karen told us.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep. So, we have some information on that. We have information on Steven Stevenson and his partner, Emily Richardson, right? Those are the two, that's our Mulder and Scully, but not nice. They're not nice.
They're not cool.
They were willing
Insult
to
Gillian Anderson's everywhere.
Yeah. They're willing to put Asmita's friend Lucky in harm's way because he sort of creates events around him without, unknowingly, and they don't really care if he's safe and okay or not. That wasn't their concern. So
and they were trying to interrupt my business, which I do not appreciate for no good reason.
Fair. Yeah, I would feel the same. Now, is there anything we needed to do, like to jump right on that the next day, or is it okay if we roll forward a little bit?
I'm okay with rolling forward.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't seem to be in any immediate danger, and even if he was, like, Ryan's not tethered to him.
No, the only thing is he was going to come by.
That's
see
true.
you at the shop.
Wait, who was supposed to come by?
O'Hare.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Because he had to go pick up his car. He spun a whole thing so he would have a reason to leave work and
That's right. Because we did have some questions for O'Hare.
Okay.
Yeah, because we wanted to know what his connection or their connection was to Stevenson.
Right.
So and why
let's
they were
pick
trying to
up
set
that
me
evening. Or no, it was the next day you had called and Burke was like, oh, I'll have to leave early to, So let's say it's 4 p.m. the next. Well, you know what? Let's rewind a little bit. At noon, right? This is the morning that Ryan woke up on Belle's couch. Are you being Celeste or are you being Ryan in tight clothes?
Oh, I'm being Ryan.
Okay.
Absolutely being Ryan.
Okay.
He had the opportunity to be Celeste, but it's much more fun and I think a bit more uncomfortable for him to be Ryan.
Fair. Okay, so after that scene in the morning, which is where we left off last game, let's say we're at midday, right? Ryan, maybe you've had a chance to run home and grab clothes?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Asmita, were you here in the morning or were you just on the phone?
No, I was at Bill's in the morning, and then I headed over to the shop after that.
Oh, that's right. He did the should I call you or nudge you for breakfast.
Classic.
I mean, he heard it in a movie, so it must be good.
Didn't even work in that movie.
No, it did not.
My favorite was like, Aspita didn't know the reference, and she was just like, what?
It's a pretty wild question if you don't know that it's from a movie.
So it didn't work here either.
Well, except you did stay the night, so...
Yes. Oh boy, this is all confusing.
There's the in spite of column that would involve.
Yes, yeah. Fair. So, Asmita, are you headed back to the shop eventually?
Yeah.
That day? All right. And did you want to bring Bill? Or it... Okay.
I know Ryan is there. I know Belle is there. Also, I like Bill. He's sweet. And willingly bringing him into ultra dangerous situations, which Belle Shop has proved to be, feels counterintuitive to what I want to do with this sweet boy.
Oh, I thought that sentence was going somewhere else. But maybe also that. Yeah, that's all. So you want to keep your personal life and your work life separate a little bit. Yeah, that's healthy. Yeah, that's fine.
For as much good as that's going to do her.
All right. So have you been home? Are you coming straight here from Bill's?
No, I'm gonna shower and get changed.
Okay.
And whatnot. I also want to check in on Chris.
Yep. But Chris lives upstairs from Bell's, right?
Chris lives in my building.
Oh, that's right.
Sarah
okay.
lives upstairs from Bell's.
Yeah. Okay. I thought they were both in Bell's building, but okay. So, yeah, you stop in. The thing that you did for Chris, is not a daily thing that you have to do, but she is just watching TV in her PJs and can't go out because she's gonna get in trouble with the vampires and stuff, and so she's just laying low, doing what she's got to do.
Okay, well, so long as she hasn't completely trashed the place, I guess it's fine.
Yep.
I mean, really, even if she does completely trash the place, I don't care that much.
It's not
gonna
your
get gutted
apartment
when they finally get the renovations through.
Right. Oh, that's right. This was a gutted apartment that was being renovated.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the renovations have stalled because of some permit issues. Or
Right. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Belle. At some point, Ryan takes off to go get changed. No one else is here yet. What is Belle's mid-morning? Finally by yourself. There are no customers. I don't think you have any employees here today either. There's the person who was supposed to come in called out sick, and so it's just you in the shop at 10 a.m. After a very busy evening and everything else going on. What is our sort of tableau of Belle in this situation?
Well, I mean, Belle is doing some inventory, checking on things, making some calls. I'm going to do my business as usual. Move here and see. I mean, my mind is terrible. That is a 6 on the dice.
Mind is a terrible thing to taste.
That's a 5, so that's a miss. Because I was going to try, what I want to do is I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this pancakes lady. Like, I don't mind providing, heads, but the fact that someone tried to, like, bust me and that I was sort of set up.
Well, hang on to those dice, because I'm not sure your shop move is the thing. I think what you want is put a name to a face, the circle move, in which case you would add your well, now I have to reveal something.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean, I could check with any of my circles. Probably Mortalis or
Okay,
Wild.
what's your Mortalis bonus?
1.
Okay, so roll with the +1. What does that get you at?
I mean, if I have same dice, it was 6 on the dice, so that's a 7.
Yeah, let's do that.
right.
And we'll save your shop move for when more time has passed.
Okay, sure.
But on a 7, you know their reputation. I'll tell you what most people know about them. On a 10, you will have dealt with them before, but no. And on a miss, okay, we didn't miss. So,
Yeah, what's the word on the street about this pancakes person?
yeah. So a bunch of things connect. You know for sure now that Pancakes is connected to the people who moved into a vampire building. And it turns out the real story is like they had come into a spot and weren't bothering anyone, and then vampires came to kick them out. And the story that the vampires were telling everybody was these people came in and just started attacking us. Vampires didn't tell the truth.
Wow.
But because you're kind of poking around in the Mortalis circles and maybe checking with some of your Van Helsing contacts, they're like, no, that's not what happened. Like, we watched it. Like, we didn't need to intervene because it wasn't any of our business. But like,
yeah.
But the short version there is the Van Helsings weren't going to get involved because it was on the Night Island, on the Umbra, right? We were going to name all these islands. So I think Night Island is Umbra, which is
Umbra.
Darkness or night or shadow, depending
Right.
on what Latin or Spanish or what language you're using. But the Van Helsings let it play out. They watched it, but they didn't intervene because it's not their island. Then when the dust settled, they did kind of step in and talk to Pancakes and her crew and be like, if y'all want to come live on, let's see, what was Penumbra was going to be the wild one for the demons. There were all those good Latin partial shadow names we had. There was a whole bunch of them, but I'll think of it later. But anyway, the Helsings invited Pancakes and her gang. It's like 15 people total, right?
Okay.
To take a spot on the Mortalis Island and try to get their stuff figured out. And as far as you can tell, the Van Helsings are telling you like, oh, they're like a biker gang. They were new to town. They seem tough, like they've got to fight, but they didn't have any like magic abilities or anything like that. They were just, they were strong enough to go toe to toe with vampires, but also, I mean, in this world, vampires aren't like freaking superheroes like in other ones where they'll just pick you up and tear you apart. They're strong and fast, but not the Hulk.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's a bit of. I think that's what they're able to tell you.
All right. That's a bit of information. Okay. All right. Good to know. So I'll file that away. I still don't know why I was being set up, and I do not like it. So, let's see what happens when Burke gets here.
Okay. Now, Sarah, it gets into mid-morning. I think your experiment was happening overnight, probably. I think you were discovering like it's a little bit easier if you do it with like the full moon in view of your ritual. And I think we're in the middle of the 3 days of full moon. Last night was the first night of full moon, and then tonight will be the true full moon, and then tomorrow night will be it's still mostly full all 3 nights. You, Sam, I'm sure are familiar with.
You can do your magic on any of the 3 nights. It just works best on the fullest part.
Right. And you could do the true name stuff anytime, right? But it was like, it's just real easy when the light of the full moon is shining on your work. So that's what you've discovered so far.
Sweet.
There isn't really like a manual or anything, but here we are. It's mid-morning. Prudence was actually called away to, like, she also has to keep up a whole thing at university, right? So she's going to a city, Cal State Santa Sombra, over on the Mortalis Island, and actually no, she's on the Elysium Island, right? The one that's neutral and all parties can go there because it's also where the city hall is, and that's where her mom works, and I think that's where the university should be. So, she was up all night with you doing this ritual, and now is like dragging herself to get to class. The 10 a.m. class seemed reasonable, and now it seems it's a rough day for her.
No, it super doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
At least it wasn't the 8 a.m. class. So it's been you and Reginald here this morning. What does your day look like so far up until lunchtime?
I think she's pretty excitedly, like, taking notes. Like, you're right, there isn't a manual. So she's like, well, I gotta write one then. So like she finds an empty grimoire in her like stash of books in her sanctum and just starts writing.
Yep.
Necromancy 101. And records her experiment and the results with Reggie. And like makes some coffee, butters around. And then she's like, oh yeah, I haven't seen anyone in a while.
I think Prudence texts you the pictures that she was taking so that you have them for your, your records. And when you see that, you're like, oh my God, I have a bunch of missed texts, right? Like as your friends were going out to the bowling alley last night, they were letting you, hey, are you free? Are you, but you were busy and didn't notice your phone. But
yeah,
you
want
live
to put your
upstairs
phone on silent when you're going to do a magic.
Yeah, it's better. It's safer that way.
Yes. So she's like, oh, maybe I should go downstairs and see what Bella's up to. So she'll grab her coffee. Come on, Reggie. And head on downstairs.
Okay. Reggie seems less inclined to hop on your shoulder, but he is like hopping down the hallway with you.
Great.
All right.
So I'll basically like give him the tour. As if like a new person was visiting the building.
Just speaking to him like a person.
Yeah, this is my apartment. You always stay in there. It's safe in there. There's lots of traps. I'll show you where they are. Downstairs is Bell's shop. You're going to meet him probably. He's cool. You don't mention the glass arm. It's fine. You would mention it instead. And then just trot on downstairs to see what's up.
Okay. Yep. You the shop's open, right, Belle?
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, what Sarah comes in. What does she find you up to?
Going over inventory and checking things in, and doing shop ownery stuff.
Okay. Oh, before she gets there, Belle, I do want you to roll something for me. Something I remembered I had set up before. It is. Is that what I'm gonna do? Oh no! Why would I do that?
Oh boy!
Can you please roll study a place of power?
Oh boy!
Plus your wild, because it's a wild place of power.
Ooh.
Okay.
And this is your place I'm talking about.
That's what I had a feeling.
What a feeling.
Ooh, that is a 7 on the dice, plus 1 for an 8.
Okay.
And I get to mark wild now, right?
Yes. Yeah. If you don't already have it. And remember, folks, when you roll, when you do a circle move or you use a basic move to interact with somebody from that is like a substantial member of a circle, you can mark XP, and when you mark all 4 XP, then you take a regular advancement, not a corruption advancement. Okay, so on a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. I'll reveal something, right? On a 10 plus, you would get to ask a question, but you don't get that. But I am going to reveal that the imps that came in to rebuild your shop, we had already noticed there were little changes here and there, like that regular like rectangular table is now a 6-sided table.
Yep.
You know, and it doesn't look like broken, or it looks like it was always a 6-sided table. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The little things like that around the place. And as you look around, you realize like a lot of this place has been reshaped into like a potential gram, right? It's not a simple pentagram. It's like there's something here, but it's not charged up. It's not under anyone else's control. It's just like, oh, your shop was missing a summoning circle, right? Like here, like we fixed this thing that was wrong with your shop. Now, if you charge it up, you have some idea of how these things work.
Yeah.
But it's not something you asked for, had any specifications for. So, not totally sure what it's going to do. But it is, as you're sort of putting around, putting things like, why is this over here? Why is that there? And then you put it, and then it goes back over there. Yeah. You know, you're like, oh, no.
Oh, no. All right. Whatever I do, don't tell Ryan, because he's gonna fuck around.
He's gonna poke it. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
What?
Don't pick at it.
Yep. So yeah, I see Sarah, and I'm like, hey, Sarah?
Morning.
Who's your friend?
Was that too loud, by the way?
No, that was perfect.
Okay.
Reginald, this is Belle. Belle, Reginald.
And where is Reginald from?
Reginald hops behind the couch.
The neighborhood.
Familiar situation? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I think so. I made a friend. He was not well, and I fixed him.
Something crunches behind the couch. It's like a wet crunch.
Oh.
Do you
might have some pests.
Do you want to see what that is? I don't know that I do.
Oh, sure, I'll take a look.
Okay. Content warning, viewers. This is a little bit animal gore here. We do have a line about no harm coming to pets, and currently Reginald is going to land in that area. But are we okay with mice having some harm come to them?
Oh yeah, I'm okay with it.
Sure.
Okay.
It is their lot in the universe.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why there's so many.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, I don't know how much you want to tell Belle, but you kind of go peek behind the couch, and you see Reggie has like pecked open the mouse's skull and is just getting out the soft bits. Is not worried about the rest of the mouse.
Okay. She's gonna say, Reggie, when you're done, could you clean up the mess, please?
He just like looks over his shoulder and goes,
Rude. You don't leave our food trash in
and
friends'
then like
houses.
drags the mouse like further behind the couch. It's like,
Is there a problem?
No, he's just having breakfast.
Okay. Okay.
crunch,
I don't
crunch,
think
crunch.
you will miss it.
All right. I am just okay. Well, listen. He's your friend. So we'll just leave it at that.
Listen, you had a mouse problem.
Did I have a mouse problem? And I'm more curious about the problem that I have right now.
Not a problem.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? It is not my problem. He's your friend.
He is my friend. Yes.
All right.
Anyway, I had all these missed texts from you guys. Sorry, I was making a friend.
Yeah, clearly. Making.
What were you guys up to?
Oh, you know, the usual shenanigans. We had to deliver the head for pancakes. The head was delivered. Someone got in our way. It was really uncomfortable, and so I left. But it all worked out fine. But I'd like to know more about this pancakes person if we're going to continue to do business with her.
It's true. You know, she did mention that she'd come by and tell me what kind of undead person she was. I'm still very curious.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, that'd be of note.
Looks at Reggie. Thinks about. She said, "Just the heads, then." That's all she wanted.
Yep.
Okay.
Reggie hops out from under the couch with like mouse carcass and drops it at your feet, Sarah, because you told him not to leave it there.
So that's a thing that's happening here.
Thank you, Reggie. Where's your trash can?
Over there.
Put in the trash can.
You think you're gonna be able to teach Reggie not to do that?
I'll teach him what trash cans are for. Yes.
Reggie hisses at Belle.
No, we don't hiss at
It's like
friends.
a wide open beak of like, whoa, that opened really wide.
Are you 100% sure about what's going on here with Reggie?
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. He was
Okay.
a dead raven, and now he's not.
Yes, but I'm feeling a little concerned about his non-dead status.
How so?
Well, he seems
Perfectly animated.
yes, but he seems very bitey.
Well, he had the crunchy bit for himself and then
Yeah.
brought the rest over to Sarah.
Yeah, but I'm not really enjoying the hissing.
True, that is a habit that we're going to have to work on.
All right. Well, listen, I'm just noting that I have some concerns, and I'm not sure of my comfort level with him in my shop around my customers.
Oh, fair. There's no customers here.
No, but eventually we will have customers.
Sure, yes.
Bill, one of the spots that you've noticed as a like, you're trying to like map out the whole sigil that is like the floor of your shop now.
Yeah.
And one of the parts you've identified as being like, oh, it's important when these kind of lines cross over each other. Reggie has gone over to that and kind of like, not gracefully, but kind of like just tipped over. And he's not, well, like, dead. Like he's moving around, like he's not breathing either, but he's like tipped over in a very non-bird pose, like just, and it's kind of like wiggle a little bit, like maybe trying to scratch his back, like it's weird. Sarah, I'm not sure if you would recognize what's in the shop so far, but
I think she's becoming curious, though.
okay. You want to study a place of power?
Or, let's see. What do I roll for that?
That would be plus your wild stat, because it's a wild place of power. Or if you have a playbook move that you wanted to try out, that's okay too.
Well, I can't detect the presence and function of magical items or spells.
Yep. No, that makes more sense. So is that let it out?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
Let's do that. So that is just made it. That's a 7.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it means you get corruption and complication.
Huzzah!
Let me just double check the wording here. On a hit, mark corruption and activate an ability from your playbook. The MC will tell you how it's costly, limited, or unstable. On a 10 plus, you get to ignore one of those things. Right, so you just get all of it.
Huzzah!
All right, so you identify that the shop in particular, not the whole building, but the shop has been arranged in such a way as to create a summoning gram of some kind, either summoning or trap or control, or you'd need more time to study it. But it's you've certainly looked at like pentagrams that summon demons, right? This is like the first one you learn how to do. This is not. It's a little bit up from that, but it feels similar.
Curious. Were you aware that your shop summons something? Just kind of points in a general sigil manner.
Yes. I have become slightly aware. This is news to me as well. But we had some repairs, some imps did some things, and it looks like they may have done some extra.
It gave you an upgrade.
Well, they fixed the fact that your shop was not a summoning circle.
Yes.
They repaired that.
Yes, so now... But we're just going to not activate this for now.
Yeah, I think we should figure out do you know what it summons?
I don't. Not real keen to find out anytime soon. And not real keen for that to become general knowledge. So let's just keep this between you and me.
There's a real loud squawk, or caw, I guess is a better. And just to find out how everyone reacts, Reggie has found there's like a little mirror in the corner. You have some clothing and stuff for sale, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little floor mirror, like long skinny mirror that Reggie has discovered and is yelling at. Just real loud, like that real loud raven noise that shouldn't be indoors.
Yeah.
And looks like he's about to attack the mirror.
Sarah, I dig Reggie. Yeah. He may not be shop ready.
Reggie, that's you. It's not another bird.
It's just screaming. In anger, not fear.
I'll go and just pick him up. That's you.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to roll keep
undead
your
bird
cool.
handling stat.
We're gonna roll. Oh, it's spirit though, so you get to roll keep your cool.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Because he's trying to get past you and attack that fucking bird.
Yeah, he's mad at the bird. Oh nope. These dice are out of juice. No, that's a 5.
Okay. So, you're going to get hurt, right?
Okay.
But your choice is you take 1 harm and the mirror is broken, or you could take 2 harm and save the mirror.
Does the mirror look magical in any way?
I don't know if you've had enough time to study it, really. Reggie was making so much noise.
It's true. Yeah, let's take the 2 harm.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, you manage to pull Reggie away, and when he can't see the mirror anymore, he calms down pretty quickly, and forgets about it. So he's not human intelligence, right?
Gotcha.
But you made the other bird go away, and so he ruffles and then tries to smooth down his feathers and actually hops up to your shoulder now because that was upsetting.
Yeah. Stay. I think I'm gonna take him up to the
Yeah, that seems.
apartment. He needs a little training before
Yep.
it goes out in public, obviously. But cool. So you don't want me to tell anyone else that
No.
this big, very big, important news that your
Yep.
shop summons a thing.
Yep. Don't know what it summons. I would like to know that before. I mean, have you met them?
That's true. It sounds like you would be in my debt for keeping that secret for you, though.
It does sound that way, and yet you live upstairs?
Well,
So-
that has been resolved with a different debt.
It sure has.
This is a moment. Let's see. Let's look at the establishing a debt. Yeah, you can just decide that there is a debt. So
Is that what you're saying? Are you saying you will only keep this for a debt?
Well, I mean, it's a big secret to keep.
Is it though?
It is. Especially once I find out what it summons.
You know what? I will accept it. I will accept the one debt for you to keep this a secret. But that means you have to keep it a secret.
It will absolutely be a secret.
yeah,
From
and
Alright.
the
just
others.
to make sure everyone's clear that this level of an oath is, like mystically enforced.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm going to take my dead raven and go. It's been a very interesting morning.
Very.
All right. So you take Reggie back upstairs, and he kind of just settles in wherever you put him, and head back down. And I think this is probably about the time Ryan gets back from changing clothes, Esmita gets back from her place, and we've got the gang back together here. So, and Burke is supposed to swing by like this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Question: where is the rat carcass?
In the
Or
trash
mouse
can.
carcass?
In the trash
can.
Okay, just making sure I didn't have to have a moment.
I mean, there is like I don't know if your character would smell blood, but there's a faint smell of blood.
I think I might actually almost step in the blood in my new white boat shoes, which would have been problematic. So
What
Ryan goes to step and then does the Ryan Gosling gif, looks down, disgusted, looks up.
There was a minor rodent-related incident. It's fine. I'm sorry we missed that spot.
All right. So, any news from?
No, I mean, well, I've learned. Remember how the vampires said they were attacked randomly?
Sure.
Yeah, not so much.
Oh,
Apparently, Pancakes and her crew, whatever they are, still unclear, were holed up someplace, and the vampires tried to chase them out, and that's what started all of this shenanigans.
I wonder
Yeah.
what they. I mean, do you think the vampires just were being territorial, or do you think they?
Who knows?
Pancakes. No idea.
No idea yet. All I
mean-
want to know is what's Pancake's deal so that, we can try to get out of this.
Technically, they were in vampire territory, but had not attacked anyone.
But had not attacked. I mean, they
Right.
were just, yeah. But also, I'm definitely putting all this on the vampires
What?
to Ryan.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yep. So the vampires created this whole problem. And so,
And expect the rest of us to clean it up.
pretty much.
That sounds oddly familiar.
Yep.
Stares
Thank
at
you,
Celeste.
Dorkler Canada, for redeeming Hydrate in the chat. Everyone remember to drink some water?
Oh. I don't have any water.
Or whatever you've got that has water in it.
That is some kind of
Reader
liquid
hydrate
substance.
day.
Tequila is some percentage water.
Yep. Some percentage.
It does not hydrate you, though.
Not very
It
efficiently,
depends on
no.
what part of you you're attempting to hydrate.
Yeah.
You can
My
like
soul.
splash it on yourself.
Yeah, hydrate my soul. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's skip it a little bit. So we've got everyone here. Bell's let you know there was, everyone has this information that that Pancake's gang was jumped, and since there's been this sort of like running battle between really like 15 people and all of the werewolves and vampires.
Right. They're surprisingly tough for, head eating. I'm assuming they're eating the heads. I'm just going to assume that.
What a
head
wild
eating
assumption.
They could be using it for decorations, could be using it for a ritual.
Every week, though.
Those aren't mutually exclusive, though?
Yeah, none of this is mutually exclusive. It's also the weekly sort of aspect. It feels like if you're doing a ritual, you collect the number of heads you need for the ritual.
Unless it's a recurring thing.
Yeah, it could be a maintaining ritual.
It could also be, yeah. All this is true. But, I'm still sticking with their eating them. They seem head-eaty.
Yeah. They are undead of some sort.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't
And
think I realized that.
As we have learned from Reginald.
Who's Reginald?
Yeah, Sarah has some suspicions about. There's a connecting thread here.
Yes.
Between the brain eaters.
Either way, I'm a little bit more concerned with the mortal authorities inserting themselves in business that really shouldn't concern them.
Yeah.
That also.
They were not playing around.
Yep.
And it
My
was a
life
pretty
was in mortal
elaborate
danger.
trap.
Mortal? Really?
They had a gun.
What happened?
Oh, did Bell not tell you how he left me for dead?
Not for dead. I figured you could take care of yourself. Also, I was trying to complete my business transaction. We were trying to complete our business transaction, and some obnoxious mortal got all up in my face for reasons that I do not care about. And so I left.
Your business means more to you than my friendship in life. I am wounded. I am cut deep.
We're all so shocked.
So, Ryan, really? This is what you're gonna do here. This is okay. Well, fine. You are shocked. I'm so upset. Oh my. However will I sleep tonight?
Using your glass orb as a pillow?
It seems a little more glass.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're not concerned about that.
Not at the moment. No, we're not going to go with concerned. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Well, and Bell, since last night to now, there's no advancement.
Yeah. See,
So-
everything is fine. We are nice and staple here, so everything. Let's not worry about me. Ryan, where's this Burke person so that I can talk to them and we can figure out why I was being set up?
They're supposed to be coming here. They were being manhandled by that Stevenson character and worked out some kind of ruse to get themselves over here. I don't know
Well-
where they are at the moment. They're
Well-
not my pet yet.
Yet. Really, though, are they not?
I mean, it feels kind of like a big knot if they're setting you up to get nabbed by the mortal authorities.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you did all that, smooshy stuff with them, so it really seems then that you should have a much greater measure of control here. Isn't that
Worst
the whole
possible
point
description.
of you people?
Look, just because you pick up a stray doesn't mean it becomes your pet.
Okay, all right. Well,
I mean,
either way,
that's how picking up a stray works. Like, I mean, you can feed them, but once you pick them up, they're yours forever.
yep.
That explains a lot about you.
Let's can everyone just roll 2d6? This isn't really
Yeah.
a move. I'm just curious to see who notices it first.
Oh god.
Just straight roll whatever's on the dice?
Yep.
That's a 5 for me.
That's a
And for
10.
me,
10.
10. Pooja, what was yours?
and
3 10s?
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Wow.
Okay. So all three of you turn to see this like great big raven, like full-size raven, just sitting outside the glass window that has recently been replaced. And it's kind of like on top of, let's say there's like a little newspaper stand out there, you know, that you like put change into. I don't know if our listeners know a newspaper is a but yeah, there's one of those where you put coins in, you pull the thing open and you can take the paper out. And this raven is sitting on top of that and does it kind of an experimental like dunk beak against the glass, and like, oh, that thing hit really hard.
Is it Reggie? Does he have the red eyes?
Sure is. Yeah.
Sarah.
We'll get him. I'll get him.
We'll even say Reggie has like a couple of white feathers. Oh, here, we'll do like my beard is white just on the left side. So let's say Reggie has a couple of like white feathers on the left side of his neck, and so he's really recognizable.
Okay.
I'm sure his
well,
name should be Reggie and not Rogue.
Not what?
Rogue.
I don't want him to break the window, so I'm gonna go get him.
Yes. I feel like that is a good call. Yes, please.
Yeah, the sound of that impact was like, it didn't crack the window, but it could have. So,
Speaking of picking up strays, that is Reggie.
We'll just open
Reggie's-
the door for him. Would you like to come in?
No!
hop, hop, hop. And then
Sarah.
disappears behind some bookshelves.
Sarah, no. Sarah, no.
He's gonna break your window,
Yeah, take him back upstairs.
and he'll just come right back down. Apparently,
Do something about that.
I will, but training takes time.
Take some time.
I think this is the perfect time for a taxi to pull up outside. And O'Hare gets out and walks into the shop. Hi?
Hey.
O'Hare.
So you wanted to see me?
Yes.
So is it okay to wait? He's met all of you, right? Yeah. Because Sarah was there for that scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. O'Hare. Come in, please.
Okay. Yeah.
Sit.
I'm gonna. So he's still like kind of standing by the door. He's like, I'm gonna be allowed to leave, right?
Depends on how this conversation goes.
Belle, there's no reason to frighten him. Come in.
I would like a promise of some kind.
Ryan?
We promise that if you stop actively working against us, we won't rip you limb from limb.
Okay, I can explain.
Can you though?
Okay. And yeah, he steps down in the shop. Belle, I don't know if you wanted to like lock the door or anything. Totally up to you, but
I mean, I'll simply position myself between O'Hare and the door.
yeah. Well, I mean, also like to keep customers from coming in, or
I don't. Listen, it's fine. We're just having a conversation
okay.
for now.
All right, so you're not going to the office or anything. You're just standing out here in the sort of
Yeah. Like there's like a sort of nook where there's a overstuffed chair.
okay.
Guide O'Hare to the chair, and then stand close.
Yeah, they look very uncomfortable, but like sort of sink into the chair.
Yep.
It's probably a really comfortable chair, and they're not sure how to like process this.
Yep. So, why don't you explain why some cop was in my business?
Okay. Look, they have access to all of my records, and they saw that there were some irregularities. And when they questioned me, something made me tell them, and I don't know what that was. But I was made to tell them some of what's going on. And so they knew about the handoff. And honestly, I don't know how to get out of this situation. I want to be able to keep supplying you. This is good business as far as I'm concerned, but they know things and I don't know how they know. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry.
Ryan.
Look, we want to help you. Clearly, this arrangement's going to be beneficial for everybody involved. We just need total transparency. If you knew that they had access to your records, why didn't you tell us that from the beginning?
I couldn't. I was bound. I couldn't say anything until, like, this morning.
Is there any way I can try to get a sense of what, like, is this binding on him? Is it... What would that role look like?
Let's see. What... It's maybe let it out.
Okay.
But what playbook moves do you have?
I have In Our Blood. When you mislead, distract, or trick someone through lies of omission or clever misdirection, roll with heart instead of mind. Scales of Justice. Cash in a debt with someone to use a power from the fairy magic move, targeting them at no cost. And Words or Wind. When you know instantly if someone has broken their word to you and reneged on a deal you've made. Take a debt on them and +1 ongoing to claim what you deserve from them or their allies.
Is there a role associated with that?
No, I just know instantly, and then I immediately take a debt on them, and I can get +1, basically to Terminator my way to justice.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a choice. You can either do that with like a custom spirit roll, or you can roll the circle move. There's also the basic move, figure someone out, if you want to do that. But I think we kind of need the magical version of what is it? Put a name to a face or something?
Where is it? Circle move.
Oh, no, that wouldn't be it. This would be more like study a place of power where you'd roll plus Mortalis.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's roll with plus Mortalis.
Okay.
That is a 9 on the dice, +1 for my Mortalis is a 10.
Oh, very good. Your insight reveals much about the circle's politics and schemes. You can see the lingering effects of a hex on Burke, on O'Hare. And they were the gist of it. I would say your understanding of the arcane is instinctual versus academic, so it's hard for you to like really pick it apart. You would need like a real expert in magic to really like decipher all of this. But you can definitely tell that there was a compelling hex, and not totally clear on all the details, even with your 10 plus. But yeah, you can tell right away. The hex even has the smell of Detective Richardson, that she had cast it for sure. You met her face to face, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Face to face and gun to face.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you recognize that smell. That was a very intense moment for you, and yep, that's the smell of her magic. And you can also just tell O'Hare believes they're telling the truth. Right? Like they are saying what they believe to be true. Now, whether they're wrong or not is a separate thing, right? But but they are being honest with you.
Sure.
Yes.
O'Hare. You let them hex you.
They what?
I would have thought someone who was associated with Van Helsing's would be a bit more clever than that.
I'm not a Helsing.
Oh, so that tattoo that I saw was what? A drunken mistake?
I was more closely affiliated at one point. and I left. I don't work with them anymore.
Do they usually let their members just leave?
No, but they're less murdery about it than like other groups, you know?
Sure.
Like if you are totally on good standing, don't owe anybody anything, and aren't running for the hills, they might leave you alone, but they probably don't consider you a former member.
Right.
Just an inactive one.
Oh, O'Hare, you know as well as I do. You can check out anytime you like for the Van Helsings, but you can never leave.
No.
So, Sarah, is there anything you can do about this? Maybe try to reverse this hex on him. I can get a feel for it, but it's gross and clinical, and I don't like it.
I think Sarah's been kind of like one eye on Reggie, one eye on this situation, so she hasn't been
okay. Well,
full
those have combined. I was about to tell you that, and everybody hears the little double like tick 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 of hopping bird feet, and Reginald is sort of like under the comfy chair. I'm picturing it as like having like 4-inch legs.
Yeah.
So it's like off the floor a little bit. And Reginald sort of like scoots under there and is, so O'Hare is in khakis and polo with the like coroner's department logo. I don't know. They got company shirts.
Of course.
But Reginald is under the chair, sort of investigating the back cuff of the khakis, right? Is like maybe gonna grab at him, or is just like investigating. O'Hare hasn't noticed that there's a bird under this chair, but I think Sarah and Belle definitely see it. Or no, Sarah and Ryan, because Ryan was having this conversation. Belle and Esmita, are you two likely to notice the bird under the chair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah?
Yes. Hold, please. And she's just gonna like move O'Hare up out of the chair gently and away from the chair, and just like, no, stop it.
What do you do?
She's saying no, stop it to Reggie.
Okay, but you're not like moving him or anything?
Yeah, I'm not moving Reggie. He can stay under the chair, but I'm moving Burke out of the chair.
Oh, okay. You're leading Burke out of the chair.
Just get him by
Okay.
the hands and just like, come with me. I'm gonna look at your hex. Stop it. You're embarrassing me.
O'Hare just about jumps out of their skin when Reginald does a very loud caw from under the, and is like calling at you, Sarah, because he's very annoyed with you, like for some reason.
For some reason. Some unknown, not related to moving the next meal away.
We will
reason.
discuss this later. I have to do a magic.
And then Reginald does probably the creepiest thing possible and like backs under the chair. Doesn't break eye contact until he's totally under the chair.
Yeah, neither does Sarah. She just looks at him. You want a staring contest? You get a staring contest.
Okay, establishing your dominance. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I am going to. Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to use my Let It Out move to reshape the essence of a magical spell to just flip the owner of the hex to be us.
Oh,
okay. Well, they're remnants. It's sort of like when you smell like a campfire after being near a campfire.
Okay.
But it's not. He's not. They're not actively hexed right now.
Oh, I misunderstood. Okay.
Okay.
Which is why they can talk to you about what's going on.
Okay. Does it seem like it could be reactivated easily?
No, but you could probably learn more about the spell itself or who cast it if you studied it.
Yeah, but I would like to study it, please.
For anybody catching this later on the VODs, maybe on YouTube or something, please go to Twitch and just check out this timestamp. There's a fantastic conversation in chat about hex education and everything related to that. I'm
You gotta practice safe hex.
very happy about the, endorsing safe hex and hex education. So,
It's important.
yeah.
I mean, this is where it just teaches you that if you prohibit something, it just makes the people more likely to engage in unsafe hex practices.
Yep.
O'Hare is the perfect example.
Yeah.
If the Van Helsings would just embrace hex as a part of life
Right.
and
Have
teach their
open, positive
people
conversation about it. Yeah.
Yep.
then
We're
people
hex
could-
positive here.
Then people could, have protection. They would
Exactly.
understand that they need to use protection when it comes to hexes and magic.
Well, the best protection is clear enunciation, so you really should be using a diaphragm.
All right. Sarah, do you want to study a magic thing?
I would like to study a magic thing.
Okay, that's a let it out for you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got a 7.
Ooh. Corruption or complication?
Don't I get both on a 7?
Oh, yes. Yeah, sorry. Yes, you get both. I'll go ahead and mark your corruption. I'll come up with a complication in a moment, but I want to focus on your sort of perception right now.
Okay.
I think you get a sense of I think they're sort of mix mash cultural appropriators. So you have the core of this hex came from a Mayan symbol that is not magic that you're super familiar with, but we've seen them do, I think, some Assyrian magic, something like that. They've done like a couple different things and from different cultures, and so they're definitely doing a mix and match of other people's stuff. It also occurs to you yeah, this is done technically correct, but if you were to do it in the spirit of the Mayan tradition, it would be 10 times better, right? Like if you actually did it correctly and really understood what you were doing, it would be much more effective and wouldn't be worn off by this morning, right? So they also might not realize that it's worn off.
Fascinating.
They as in the cops, not O'Hare.
Yeah.
But the hex was to compel them to tell the truth. They were prohibited from telling anyone about the conversation, and I think that's what it was supposed to do.
Okay.
It was a tell us and no one else.
Fascinating. Okay, so she's gonna make some notes on how to do this hex better if I want to. And then, all right, so basically you just had to tell the truth to the hexer and no one else. The fun part is they might not realize that he's not hexed anymore because they did it poorly.
That's very good to know.
Yeah, so perhaps if you just pretend like you're still telling them the truth, you should be fine. They won't try to do it again.
So, O'Hare, what's the next thing that they wanted from you? Or when was the next time you were going to be in touch with them?
I think we were supposed to meet up tonight after my shift and sort of debrief on what happened.
You all right?
And
Where
what
were you
did
going to
happen?
meet? Yeah, that's a good question, Ryan. What did happen?
Do you want me to say what actually happened, or what do you want me to say? So O'Hare's looking real nervous.
Relax. You're the victim here.
Also, for Asmita, Ryan, and Belle, you're seeing O'Hare looks real nervous, and then you realize he's looking a lot at Sarah. And when you look at Sarah, you can see her eyes are these like wee beady red eyes that are look a lot like Reginald's red eyes. Just big enough to be the right size for her face. But yeah, but Sarah, this isn't something you've noticed about yourself. That's just
Okay.
yeah.
Am I feeling hungry in any way? Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of look over at Sarah and notice. Hey, Sarah, more carrot, less stick.
I don't know what you mean by that at all. Is that a euphemism? I haven't heard that one before.
No need to scare him. We got him, all right? Just relax. Take a
I'm not
breath.
scaring him. I'm just telling him what the Hex did.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
thank
it's
you. Thank you for that. I'm sorry.
The red beady stare.
Yeah.
A little.
So,
Super
I mean,
creepy. I love it.
understand. Like, I understand the urge to do it. Trust.
She's gonna pull
Like-
out a compact and. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
and
there's no pupil or sclera or iris, or it's just solid red.
Sarah?
Just poker face and pats O'Hare on the shoulder. Sorry about that. I wasn't intending to scare you. And then she's gonna back away slightly.
Okay.
Yep. You maybe want to take Reginald and go upstairs and deal with that situation?
Yeah, sure. You know what? I think that is a good idea. And as she's backing away from O'Hare, she's just gonna like pluck a stray hair off of his jacket and to like take with her.
Yeah. Sort of like pat on the shoulder and
Take, and then scoop up Reggie and go upstairs. Yeah, you guys just tell him what you want him to say, and then well, that sounds great. I'm gonna go have some breakfast. I think I'm a bit.
Is this car alarm coming through at all?
No, I'm not
Right.
hearing it.
The joys of living next to a parking lot. Okay, so Reginald like yells at you again and then follows you out the door. Just Raven yell.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Way too loud for indoor voice, but yeah.
And see, you thought I was the worst thing to hang out at your store.
Jury's still out. The jury
no.
is still out.
Sombra and Sombra were just here.
That's true. They were
3
pretty
days ago.
terrible. Listen, there's a lot. We're not judging here. We're just
It's not a contest.
yes. Okay. Anyway,
Maybe it is a contest.
If it
It
was,
could
I'd
be
be
a
winning.
contest.
O'Hare. Where are you meeting with Stevenson and Richardson?
There's a there's a cop bar on near the morgue, and we're supposed to get a beer after work. O'Hare's really not thrilled about all of this. But
Yep.
is like
Right,
feels
what
really
else?
They really
stuck.
love to like lean into this we're friends except we're actually using you for our own ends thing. The lies
really
that
do.
mortals tell themselves.
Yeah,
A lot.
there's a lot.
I just thought they were trying to do the right thing, and I really don't think they are.
No, they are not.
So why don't you tell us everything you've said between the three of them, the three of you, just so we're all up to speed.
Okay.
Help us help you.
That they were trying to tell me that the heads thing was dangerous because like it was gonna be zombies or whatever, right? Like some crazy story like that. And that they were going to protect the city, but they had to do this to catch, to do like a sting. And like, I know a little bit about how this stuff works. You can't, like, just a human head, like, doesn't do anything. You just maybe make like a real cool mug out of it. But like, a regular human head, like, I've never heard of a particularly special magical ritual that needs a human head. And I don't know. I don't. So they said I had to help them by going through the delivery, but letting them know everything that's going on, and that I was supposed to put a tracker in the bowling bag, and then just let them know everything that happened.
So there's a tracker in the bowling bag.
Oh, geez, I don't know. I
Did
don't
you
know if I did it.
Oh,
Well, they're not here.
How do you not know if you did it?
It's fuzzy when they made me do stuff. I can't. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's okay, O'Hare. It's okay.
They're getting kind of sweaty. Like they're also like looking back at the chair since they were pulled to stand up. And they are just looking really uncomfortable and nervous, and now they don't know how to answer the question, and they're kind of looking around at everybody. And
Was it like a physical tracker that they wanted you to put in? A magical tracker?
I don't even remember if I did it. I don't know.
I mean, but think back to what they wanted you to do. Since you don't know if you did it. Did they give you something?
I think it was a little like fob, a little device.
and Belle, didn't your buyer take the bag with them?
Yes, they did. So that's not our problem.
You're right. It's not our problem. It's your problem.
True.
It's not my
100%
problem.
your problem.
You gave them the bag with the tracker in it.
I gave them what they asked for, which was a head.
You
O'Hare.
gave them tainted goods.
O'Hare.
Pause. Belle, I'm gonna have you do a roll because since you didn't know that the bag was a poison pill, it wouldn't have pinged anything for you. But now that you do have knowledge that you may have not totally held up your end of the bargain, I have to have you roll. Ooh, that's harsh. Okay, I'm gonna phrase it like this. Now that you know that sending that with a tracker, you would not have been able to do that and be upholding your end of the bargain, right? If you had known about it. So the options are either to intervene and contact Pancakes in some way, or we're gonna have to roll to refuse a debt. Which is your option?
Hold on 1 second. Let me just look at...
That's on page 13.
Ooh, boy.
Refuse to honor a debt.
Because you know what? I'm going to take that role. Because my argument here is no one said make sure it's not being tracked. That was never part of the deal. They simply asked for the head. I got the head and delivered the head.
Okay.
The person who broke any sort of understanding here is O'Hare, and that's on them.
Yep.
Not me.
Yeah, and I think it's totally in character for Belle to like keep shifting the blame. So
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. So you're just gonna roll and add the difference in status between you and your creditor. What is your status with Mortalis?
My status with Mortalis, is 0.
Okay, well, theirs is also 0, so you're just going to roll +0.
All right, let's see how this goes. I do have a move, but I have not taken it yet, so. Ooh! Not Snake Eyes, the other one. Boxcars.
Oh, boxcars. I was like, wow, why are we cheering?
Boxcars on that one.
Okay, so on a hit, you weasel out of the obligation for now, but you still owe the debt.
Yep.
On a 7 and 9, there would be more problems, but that's not the case. Yeah, I think it's like you are still in this deal, but you managed to, you are, what's the word? Like magically connected in the form of debts, right? And you're able to kind of push your will into the arrangement and be like, no, I did do what I set out to do. And you shape the debt to what you insist it is, right?
Yes.
Like, yes, I agreed to provide you heads. I will keep doing that.
Yep.
And I did what I said I would do.
Yep. Going forward, I'll make sure they're not tracked.
Sure.
And also, I will provide you with the person who tracked them. Sorry, O'Hare.
Right. Yeah. So none of this has been communicated to Pancakes yet. But this was about Bell exerting control over the pact that was signed there. As Mita, I want you to roll. I just feel like this is something that could ping for you, just as like a buzzing, like a pact was just shifted in front of you. But I think I would either roll figure someone out or let it out, depending on if one of those feels right to you.
Let me look real quick. Figure someone out. I think it's more of a let it out, because this is something I'm pinging through my...
Oh, Pooja, do you have any more volume?
Like, I think it's something that I'm feeling through Vritra. Like, this is because of the pact that I have.
Yeah, okay.
So, let it out makes more sense to me.
Okay.
Or even... Because all of my bargain stuff rolls with heart.
Okay.
Like, on my character moves.
Yeah, okay, well, let's do a custom let it out with heart this time, and then check the results.
Okay. I'm real glad that I did that, because it's a 7.
Oh, okay, that made the difference, yeah.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Like, with the heart, it's a 7.
All right, so you're going to get corruption and complication, but you also pick up on this thing that just happened. The pact wasn't broken, it was further defined, right? That the assumptions are now explicit, and that you can just feel it reshape, right? And I think the corruption is a little bit based in the, like, getting your fingers into other people's business, right? Because the pact had nothing to do with you, aside from the fact that you were affiliated with Bell. I think the complication is that now you are affiliated with the pact. That you are now part of the commitment to provide heads to Pancake.
Oh.
And you can feel yourself get, like, kind of sucked into that. And Belle, you're aware as well that just happened.
Well, look at it this way. At least we did not sign in smoke and blood this time.
This time, yet.
I mean, if you're up for smoking blood,
No, I'm not.
down for smoking blood.
No, I am not. I know you, Asmita, so this is great. We're in this together again. And yet, once again, somehow, Ryan's just standing there.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Never mind.
So, O'Hare, when exactly, so you're supposed to meet with them tonight at this bar, and what were you planning on telling them? What do they want to hear?
They want to hear that I delivered the bowling bag and that the handoff went well and that you've contacted me for further drop-offs, and what the next drop-off is going to be, and whatever I could tell them about you all.
Oh, this is delicious. So here's my plan. Well, you two are busy getting all messy. I had a thought.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we set up a sting for them? We can tell them that the handoff's going to be at a certain place. We can be ready and prepared to get the jump on them. And O'Hare, why don't you take the night off?
But don't you need me to meet with them? He looks real nervous. They look real nervous about that.
No, I think maybe perhaps it's best to leave this in the hands of a professional.
Are we hiring a
They
professional?
literally have to meet with the cops tonight because that's already set up. And if they don't go meet with the cops tonight, then the cops will know that they're no longer under the hex.
I would like to let it out to appear to others as someone you've previously touched.
Yep. Go
And
ahead.
appear as O'Hare.
Roll your let it out. Oh, geez, forgot to take our break. We'll do this and then take our break here real
Okay.
quick.
That is an 8. So I get a complication and I get corruption.
Excellent. The complication. Yeah. The complication is gonna turn up later. I know what it is, but I don't want to tell you yet. All right, but you look like O'Hare, and to a T. And for Asmita and Belle, you look at like, yeah, Ryan looks exactly like O'Hare.
Right, yep. Forgot Ryan could do that.
No
All
problems.
right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No, it
Just
just
want
doesn't
to
stop being
jot this
creepy when
down.
you do it when the other person's right there.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I get it.
I mean, unless you're into that. It's
I'm trying
happened.
to kink shame. I'm just saying that it's the bystander aspect. It's creepy.
Yeah, and O'Hare is a little taken aback, like, but okay, that means I don't have to be there.
Yes.
Okay, where should I be? Can I just stay here?
I think you should just stay here.
You are going to stay here.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm going to use my little room that I never use. The magical dead zone that's secured by wards and rituals. And that's where I'm going to lock O'Hare up.
Okay. Great. Was anyone else perceiving the hex on them?
It was me and I think Sarah.
Okay. Well, when they go in there, you can see the last vestiges of that hex drop away. And your ability, Ryan, doesn't depend, like you haven't enchanted O'Hare to make this work. So, you know, that's your thing is separate from that. Let's take let's take like 5. And does anyone need more than 5 minutes? No?
7.
Okay. Then I'll put up the little counter, and everyone, we will be right back. We still have an hour or so to go after this, so don't go anywhere. And we'll see you in a minute. Thanks. And we're back. Almost entirely. Oh, be quiet, phone. Nobody asked you. My name's Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. We're playing Urban Shadows, and everyone will be back in just a moment. But here's what we're doing so far, and that's okay. We're gonna find out what Sarah's up to after we're with Reginald. I'm sure there's some nonsense going. Oh, thank you for these redeems. I will be hydrating with coffee and creamer. And my posture was okay, but could be better. Thank you. Oh, and a stretch. Actually, I don't mind that. That's a good timing. And just the right amount of time to have a Sam return to us.
Hello, I have returned.
Aha. Excellent. I would like to, let's actually pop upstairs and do that now. Let's see what Sarah and Reginald are up to. Reginald sort of begrudgingly goes with you, and you get up into the apartment. Now, remind me what your Sanctum bonuses are. Like, what are the things that it has?
It has magical booby traps, a library of old tomes, a scattering of ancient relics, magical wards, and an apothecary.
Okay. Okay, great. Yep. So, yeah, you get back up there. You do find yourself feeling a little like, you probably skipped breakfast. It's midday. I don't know how often, like what Sarah's diet is like, but it does seem like a steak lunch feels like the right move. Really rare.
Okay.
If you want to investigate that impulse, that's up to you.
Considering the eyeball situation, and if I'm feeling particularly peckish for rare meat, she's definitely a little suspicious.
Okay. So let's do a I don't know if this has to be leaded out. I think this is just figure someone out, but it's you.
Okay.
Or it's Reginald, I guess.
I can also use my sanctum to work on something.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. How does that work?
So under your sanctum, it doesn't say there's a role, but there's like a bunch of options that you get to pick from, or like how it goes.
Oh, when you go into your sanctum to work on something, the MC will tell you, sure, no problem, but, and then 1 to 4 of the following. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're working on is investigating this impulse that you're getting, right?
Yeah. I think I'd like to definitely specifically that, but I also want to look at like how the wizard undead connection works. Like, what is my connection to Reggie? Because I'm suspicious that is where the impulse is coming from, and like how to train your newly undead friend.
Yep.
Like, I didn't read the instructions before I bought the brain-eating bird, and now I would like to figure out what I have.
How to train your Dagon?
Yes, how to train your Dagon.
Okay. The MC can combine any set of requirements or offer 2 sets of costs to the same task. I'll let you choose. Yeah, okay. So I think it's just one. You'll have to construct you have to trap Reginald to get a good read on it, because he's like too fidgety, but you also need this like special sort of like undead MRI kind of like this container that you could study him a little more closely, and you will require the services of your ward because it takes more than 2 hands to do what you need to do.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I'm gonna put in a call to Prudence on the phone, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, she's out of class and was trying to track down Abe, the mobile potions creator, who I think you missed this last time, Sam. Belle's former contact, Abe, is a wizard who is no longer allowed to do business at Belle's, and and probably shouldn't do business with you, but Prudence technically isn't on that banned list. And so Prudence is tracking down the ice cream truck that Abe does business out of to try and restock some of your supplies, just like the basics.
Okay.
I have newt, just the regular stuff you want to have around your sanctum.
Yeah.
But she hasn't caught up to them yet, and so if you wanted to, put it in an order for something or whatever, but yeah, she answers on her phone and is headed over to where she's told the ice cream truck is.
Okay, great. So post ice cream truck, I mean, probably post haste. Let's just come back to the apartment.
Oh,
I have some further work with the our new friend.
is it emergency? I mean, I could find Abe later.
Yeah, this might take precedence. Let's go ahead and get this done quickly.
Yes. Right away. Okay, I'll be right there. So she's on her way. Also, I just want to put the vibe in there that like Prudence does what you ask, but she's also a little like, you're kind of a new wizard too,
Yeah.
But she also can't do what you do. But there's a little bit of like, well, she's not a teen. She's like a 20-year-old, right? But she's got a little bit of that like rebel pushback of like, you're not my mom.
Totally fair.
But also knows that she can learn from you, and no one else really wants to be her mentor right now. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, she heads right back. She gets back within a fairly short amount of time, and this is all they're still interviewing O'Hare downstairs. So yeah, she gets back, sets down her laptop bag and is kind of rolling up her sleeves. I'd say she's got like what I've got on, actually, this like black collared shirt, in a more of a feminine cut than mine, but like rolls up her sleeves a little bit, and so okay, she didn't see Reggie, right? That was after she left.
No, she saw Reggie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they stare at each other.
Reggie, you remember Prudence, Reggie.
They stare at each other.
Okay, so we're gonna get Reggie into the observation container that's on my desk over here.
Okay.
And then we're gonna take some readings. I want to see how he's doing, how well it's going.
Okay, but why do you need me?
Well, it's really like a 2-person job. He's quite strong.
Yeah, and not prudent, out of character. It doesn't latch. It's like for it to function, it's this like thing, and then you put a thing on top of it, but you can't do any. Like if you just put a book on it, it's going to interfere with it, right? But a person holding it there is okay.
So you have to hold the thing into place while I do the readings.
Was he going to bite me?
No, here, and she's going to go get kitchen oven mitts.
Yep.
He's on.
Okay, she puts those on, goes to get him. He immediately bites her. The gloves help.
Good.
And just like has the thumb in his mouth and just like look at you like.
Yeah. She's just talking to him like a dog, like, no, drop it. Stop that.
He does not.
Okay.
But she gets him into the thing and like it like rips the a little bit, the mitten, and like gets that out of his mouth. Puts the thing on and then just puts her hand on it, and she's like, what is this thing? Like, why is it so angry?
He's a little bitey. I think he might be hangry. So I just want to take some ratings and see like what kind of nourishment he definitely needs.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a magic about it
Okay.
while he's in the thing.
Yeah, let's roll spirit.
Okay.
I don't think this is really let it. Oh, yeah, it is let it out. Yeah.
Oh, good. It liked that. I got a 10.
Oh, great. Okay, so do you want the corruption or the complication?
Corruption.
Okay. So good news. Your desire for bloody flesh was imposed on you, right? You were getting an echo of what Reginald wants.
Gotcha.
Bad news, Reginald wants bloody flesh. Preferably brain flesh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's like the best sustenance for him is that. And yeah, like when, you just get this sense of like, oh, when he's staring at people, he's figuring out how to get in there.
To get the brains. Okay.
Yeah. The good stuff.
How? Okay, well, I know what kind of treats to offer him for training.
Juicy morsels.
Juicy morsels. Got it. Okay. Well, all right. I think we're gonna need, let's just say this to Prudence. I think we're gonna need a large, very sturdy bird cage, and also to find a pet store in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a pet store nearby.
Yeah, one that has, like mice for feeding snakes.
Yeah, the snake
Would
mice.
be
Yeah.
preferable. Yeah. Yeah. Would you mind terribly going to the pet store and getting some sneak feeding mice while I stay here
No.
and watch the bird?
I don't mind.
Thank you, Prudence. I mean, the other option is you could stay here with the bird and I could go get the mice.
She like grabs the smaller bag, not her whole computer bag, but like her like personal bag, and it's like, nope, that's great. It's just she is so together, right? Like her like makeup's on point, her hair is, like she just does not look like the person who walks into a pet store,
Yeah.
She's chic, and she's gonna go walk into a pet store like
Sarah's
this, so.
gonna give her just like a little bit too much cash for
Okay.
how much it's gonna cost, and it's just like, I know this is a lot. Keep the rest.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Thanks. Yeah, great. Because also any money that didn't come from her mom is like freedom money,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
do anything she wants with that. So yeah, she heads off, and it's going to take a little while for her to go and do that. But in the meantime,
In the meantime, I think I have some, let's see. You know what? She probably has like a steak she can defrost.
well, for yourself?
Both of us. Why not?
Okay. As you're sort of going around getting things, Reginald makes a new noise.
Huh.
And it sounds weird because it's not a raven noise, and you don't think it's like if a raven were to bark, right? That it's not like a normal raven noise, but it doesn't really sound like a bark. But Reginald is not barking. Can you just roll mind for me? Just by itself.
Yeah.
There's no like 6- effect here. I just want to see how well you can identify the noise that he's trying to make.
Well, I got a 5.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a strange, unidentifiable. It's definitely not a raven noise, right? It's
Okay.
like a high pitch, but not loud, and almost like a chirping. Like, you're not a robin, buddy. Like, that's you're doing it wrong. And is like really like huddled down, and is like kind of like stretching his wings out in kind of a weird way, like kind of in front of him, like he's looking at the tips of his wings, and like shrugging and like just moving in a really weird way.
Okay, interesting. Duly noted. As she's like defrost microwaving the steak.
Yep.
So I'm gonna chop it up into like little bits to try and like give him.
Okay. Yeah. Eventually,
takes it.
you get some. You like put it through the. I'm picturing this little container as like, now you can just put a book on it because you've completed the ritual.
Yeah.
So there's a heavy book on it, and there's these like bars that he can't quite fit through, but he could stick his head through. So yeah, you hand him that, and he actually takes it from you without biting your finger, right? Because that's really what he wants, is this bloody chunk of meat.
Yeah.
But what he tries to do is, rather than stick his head through, because he can, right? You could just tell the anatomy here. He like sticks his wing through, and is I mean, there's no other way. Like, he's trying to like grab it, but he doesn't have grabbers on his wing.
Yeah.
That's not a biological thing.
You don't have hands, buddy. Beak.
And it just like pokes his beak through and takes it, and then pins it between his wingtips and starts eating it.
Well, seems fine.
Nope.
One for the raven, one for me.
Yeah, it
for
just
the
tastes
raven, one
good.
for me.
It's that satisfying soul food. That's not soul food. That's the wrong term. Sorry, but it does. Yeah.
Satisfying flesh food.
And I'll try while Prudence is getting to teach him like some basic commands, basically.
Oh, he's paying a lot better attention now that you have all these little bloody chunks on your plate.
Yeah. Sit. Treat. Look at me. Treat. Leave it. That one's probably more difficult.
Yeah, that's a struggle. But he is very food motivated, and it's coming along.
Okay.
Why don't you roll? What's the convince an NPC move? Persuade an NPC. Roll with heart.
Oh, I'm not getting that.
It says when you persuade an NPC with seductions, promises, or threats, but I'm just taking out the H and calling it treats.
Wonky. Come on. All right, I got a 7.
Okay. On a hit, they see your point and do as you ask. On a 7 and 9, they counter your offer or demand payment. So you will be able to pay Reginald's cost soon, which is brains. That's what he wants more than anything. So, but you've already set that ball rolling. So Prudence will be back soon.
Sweet. Excellent. Well, then I will just continue practicing basic dog training commands with my new undead.
Sure. Yeah, and I will add again, like, the body language of this bird is really strange, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like a weird bird. It's just the body language is all wrong.
I'm definitely making notes about the body language. Like, we're going to figure this part out later. We have to teach you not to bite people first, but something weird is happening other than the expected weird.
Yeah. Yeah, some brief experimentation shows that like if you put your hand near the cage without meat, he's happy to take a finger. Like, so he's still pretty bitey.
Mm-hmm.
But if your hand has raw bloody meat in it, that's a better option, right?
Gotcha.
Like, okay, so returning downstairs. O'Hare is safely in Belle's oubliette. And the three of you are making plans to go to the meeting at the cop bar tonight. I guess we need a name for a cop bar.
The Clink.
Sure.
That's much nicer than the name I was gonna put.
Yes,
Yeah.
much nicer.
Yep. Okay. Let's go with that. The Clink. All things considered, it does seem like this plan would work better with a wizard, considering how much magic these
Potentially, yep.
these cops are like fumbling their way through. So, how do y'all want to approach that?
Well, do one of you want to go and check in on Sarah? I might
run up to Sarah's place real quick.
I'll just call. I'm just gonna call.
Just call.
Kami, maybe.
Yep. Just gonna pick up the phone. Ring a ding ding. To Sarah.
Oh, hello? Oh, Belle.
Sarah, whenever you speak, Reginald yells over you.
Shush.
So it sounds like it's going well.
It is. He's very food motivated.
What kind of food?
He seems to like steak so far.
No, that's good. Okay, steak. That's not exactly what I would have expected, but fine. Are you in a place where you think you could leave him? Because we are going to try to go and deal with these cops, and it seems like we could use a little magical assistance.
Oh, sure. Yeah, my board should be back with a sturdy cage and several dozen mice shortly. So once that happens, I can leave.
All right, great. So when you're set, just come on down here, and then we'll make our way over to the Clink.
Sounds good.
Just more screaming.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I will see you in a bit.
All right. So I will relay that. So she's going to come and come with. And what do you think the plan here is, Ryan? I mean, you want to meet with them and lure them somewhere? How do we want to do this?
Well, I think we should figure out what would be a good place for us to set up an ambush. And then I can tell them that's where the handoff is going to be. They'll go there expecting us to be there, and we get the jump on them.
I like this, but where? I mean, obviously we can't lead them here. They are not that stupid. Right?
Well, if they think they might be able to nab pancakes.
I mean, do we need... Oh, that's okay. Do you think that's a thing to tell them, that there's a handoff happening here tonight?
It would
I mean,
make...
if they have access to his records, then they know that there isn't. However, if they think that they could just track pancakes because there's some kind of meeting that you found out about, or that O'Hare found out about, then it would make more sense. Because otherwise, the cops know that there isn't another head in play.
Good
today.
point.
What if we say something like, you were planning on having a meeting here with the head of their of their group here, and you asked O'Hare to get some nourishment to bring here for the meeting.
Okay.
I just feel like anything that requires us to go get another head without O'Hare should be avoided.
Absolutely. I
Well,
mean,
they've asked me, or they've asked O'Hare to get it. They haven't gotten it yet. They're reporting directly to the cops first.
But if all
Okay.
we need to do is lure the cops to here, don't
mean, we
actually need a head for that.
We don't need a head. We don't necessarily need a head for that. I don't think we need. I think I'm with Asmita here. I think we want this to be as simple as possible, but we also want to make sure it's compelling. So, telling them, you could tell them that Pancakes was unhappy with the head that they got and wants to discuss.
Mm.
Ooh,
And so we'll be here to discuss, and so they could pick up the whole crew in one.
That might work.
Let's try that.
I can play that.
And Sarah is the only person that they don't know about yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I made my
Yep.
introductions to Stevenson's partner
Yep.
last night. And she also knows Belle and she knows Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense, I suppose, for Belle and myself to stay out of sight.
Yeah. That seems fine.
And then Sarah could be your in-bar backup.
I like it.
Unless, of course, you want to, glamour us all up for the evening. Ha, glamour.
I feel like this is a good plan.
All right. Well, once Sarah gets here, we can get to work.
All right. So Sarah, Prudence gets back with the cage. When you turn to open the door for her, because the door was locked, I assume, you hear a big thump over by where Reggie is.
What's he doing?
You turn back and he's still in the cage, nothing fell over.
Okay. We'll let her. Wait, is she coming in or out?
She's coming in.
Okay.
Do you want to do the thing where you pretend to look away from the pet and they think that you're not watching them and then catch them at whatever it is they're doing?
Oh, sorry. We had a glitch in the matrix over here.
Yeah, that's okay. Do you want to do the thing where you pretend to look away from the pet and trick them into doing the bad thing they were doing?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So yeah, you go, you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess it was nothing. And you, you look away. And then you see, Reginald, again, experiment at lifting the top of this thing off, but then the book on top, thumps back down. But he really probably shouldn't be able to lift it, right? But he, pushes his head up, and then it falls back down. And that's what the noise was.
Gotcha.
But now the book is a little bit closer to the edge of the cage. If he kept doing that, he would probably slide the book off there.
So I'll let Prudence in and I'll go back over and just zhush the book back where it goes.
Get a dirty look.
Listen, the mice are coming. Let us get your house set up. Be cool.
Okay. So yeah, she has a, I guess a sturdy looking bird cage that she can do a basic enchantment on to even make it more sturdy. And the mice are in a little container that you can provide. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Awesome. I would like to put Reggie into the new cage. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna pick him up and put him in there. I'm gonna put one of the mice in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show it to him. This is for you. This goes in here. You go in here. And then I'll take the book off.
Oh, and when you do that, he does a very uncanny gesture at his roof, right? Open it, right? It's
Open it.
It's a very weird body language thing.
Okay. I'm gonna open it. That's for you.
Yeah. He hops into the better cage and just spears it right through the back of the head. and
Great.
is getting right
I
to it.
will lock it while he's busy doing all of that.
And Prudence says, "Do crows eat mice?"
Not live ones.
Okay.
So an important note, it seems like when you bring things back from the dead, they prefer to eat brains.
Vampires don't eat brains.
No, I think they're a different kind of undead.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure you get, well, vampires aren't made through necromancy, like in the same way that like we raised Reggie. So this method particularly results in a hunger for brains. Bloody tissue of most sorts will do, but brains are preferred.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you've got him in there. I should probably, get going.
Yes. So do be careful if you want to do any of your own experiments. Just make sure you have a handy source of brains lined up.
Okay. So out of character, I was under the impression you were going to ask her to stay there while you leave. And she's
no.
like kind of inching towards the door. Okay, so she can go.
He's free to go. Yeah,
Okay.
It's not. He's contained, and she enchanted it to strengthen the thing,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And I'm gonna put a couple different types of locks on it because I know ravens are good at solving puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to give him as many obstacles as possible to getting out of the
Yep.
cage. And also an incentive to stay in the cage.
Sure.
So I want to just give him a pile of mice.
You do what?
I said I don't want to just give him a pile of mice. I need one of those like time release treat stations that just like poops out.
Well, I mean, you'll probably be all right for a while at least, and
Yeah,
Prudence could come back
presumably.
and check on him, and yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need a pet cam for sure. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, the Prudence heads out. You've got Reginald as secure as you can get it, and head back downstairs.
Awesome.
All right. I think I'm ready.
All right, you sorted the whole Reggie situation.
Yes.
All right.
She
Cool.
says with complete confidence.
That I am going to trust 100%.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna plug my headphones in as the lawnmowers show up. All right, let's make sure I didn't screw up the sound settings. Can I? Somebody say something.
Something.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
Okay, great. Thank you. Super.
All right. So we loop Sarah in on the plan. You're going to go with Ryan, who is going to appear as O'Hare. Ryan is going to lure them back here. You are our not last line of defense. You are there to make sure Ryan gets through that okay.
We'll do my best.
And then once they're here, then we will, deal with them appropriately.
All right. On the way there, I'm gonna do some channeling about it, just to like. Grab.
And this is just you and Ryan going, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is weird with both of these, and I can't hear myself. Okay, cool.
I rolled those. Get back here. Do channel. No. Do we have any reroll mechanics?
Yeah, you get to re-roll the next time you try to do it. All right, so I'm sorry. Tell me again what you were rolling.
Channeling.
Oh, right. I think
so
you always get something, right?
Yeah, on a miss, hold 1, but you cannot channel again this scene. Okay, that's fine. So I just have 1.
Okay. And you've got all the other stuff you can do. It's just your spells or yeah. Yeah. Okay. And since it has what to do on a miss, then I don't have to give you a hard move or anything. So, yeah. Great. Okay. So the two of you get to the clink, and are Ryan, you are being O'Hare, and yeah. So when you walk in, it is very much that like weekday afternoon. You know, the early shift, like beat cops are there. They're not much in the way of detectives. So when Richardson and Stevenson walk in, it's like a little bit odd. And also they're dressed a lot nicer than the average detective. They're dressed more like FBI, or at least how FBI is portrayed on TV. And yeah, they come in and come over to the table that you're using. Sarah, are you sitting with Ryan or are you nearby?
I feel like we would have discussed this on the way over.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I sit nearby.
Yeah, I think nearby is probably best because if I know anything about O'Hare, he doesn't have any friends. So, and it's easier to make him feel more desperate if he's there alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And was there any other prep you wanted to do before they showed up?
Yeah. Since Sarah is there and I had this idea, Sarah, is there any way you can try to help recreate some of that residue from that spell? I mean, I want them to think that it might still be there. And since I definitely don't have any residue from that spell at all, because I'm not O'Hare, what have you got?
I do have a sample of O'Hare's hair. I could probably use their DNA to just like a wisp of the spell, maybe.
That's all I want, just a wisp. I
Revive
want them in
the vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Would that be let it out? Maybe.
Well, it can be let it out, or
Okay.
if you don't want to risk the corruption or complications of that, do you have the veil spell?
I do not. No.
Okay, then it'll probably have to be let out. I don't see any of the other spells that would be good for creating this kind of illusion.
Gotcha. All right, let's let it out.
Besides,
See
I already know what the
happens.
complication's going to be, so.
Ooh, that's a 10.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
So do you want the corruption or the complication?
Oh, I'm very interested to see what the complication is, but let's let my curiosity get the better of me. Let's have that complication.
Okay, and no corruption this time. So the bad news is you successfully cast the original hex.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
However, it's aimed at Sarah, so Ryan can only tell Sarah true things.
Oh, okay.
Do I know that?
Yeah. I don't know that Ryan's super aware until maybe you say, Ryan, what's the thing you say that's a little too revealing that makes you go like, oh no? Because you also can like refuse to answer a question, but I think some conversation thing came up that you normally would have fudged a little bit. What is that, do you think?
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but the vein would be something like a side remark about being in O'Hare's body.
Okay. No, okay, so
Oh.
tell me this. Do you like being in O'Hare's body? Would you rather be Ryan in O'Hare's body or
I'd rather be Ryan. I'd always rather be Ryan.
okay.
So it's I had it in my head and I just completely lost it. But I think it was a Snyder mark that had way too much truth to it, maybe too much detail.
Mm-hmm. Could part of it be that Ryan actually really enjoyed his time with O'Hare?
Yeah, I like that.
Like sincerely? And
Yeah.
that's a weird vibe for a Ryan.
I don't catch feelings.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be that extreme, but I think it is like oh yeah, that was actually you had a really good time with it. And Sarah, you get this like solid waft of sincere honesty from Ryan, which is not a normal scent to come off of him. And you're both aware that this is what's happening. And Ryan, I don't know, what are your reactions to this?
Oh yeah, it definitely would have been that wasn't supposed to come out of my mouth.
And I think this is when you two were like walking into the building from the cab, right? Because you wouldn't do this in the cab. And so yeah.
Fascinating.
I just look at Sarah, not a goddamn word. Not a word. And we're going to talk about this later.
Pretends to lock her lips and throw away the key.
You don't think Sarah would try to get one more question in?
Not yet.
Okay.
The hex isn't going anywhere.
Oh, that's devious, and I love it.
This is some bullshit.
You asked me to hex you.
Sarah, is your wild XP marked?
Yes.
Oh, okay, too bad. Ryan, you're wild, right? That's your.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm wild. So that's my circle. So.
Oh, you know what? Actually, Sarah, go ahead and mark the power XP. Do you have that marked?
Ooh, no, not yet.
Okay, yeah, because you did just do a wizard thing, and it's a big deal. That you just
Sweet.
learned something really new, so that's a cool wizard thing. But yeah, Ryan, you have this sort of like just bubbling facts in your mind of like things you feel like you should tell Sarah. That you have control over this, right? Because it wasn't cast with malice, but you just know like if she asked you a question, maybe caught you off guard, it would be really hard to not answer it correctly. So you could just feel that sort of tumbling around in your mind.
Further complication, as we're going in, do you think maybe we should do the mind link, the group chat, just in case you need help?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Just ask permission since I just texted him. So yeah, now you have to try not to think your truth at me too. I'm gonna use my one hold to link our minds for.
Okay, cast linking.
This. Yep.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, and you only have the one, so you can't link everyone else. But yeah,
Yes.
the two of you have telepathic contact. Sarah, what is on the top of your mind? What are you wondering about Ryan right now?
I think I'm wondering how his shape-changing ability works.
Okay.
Just as like a magical curiosity.
Sure. Ryan, is that something you would be able to answer, or would the answer be like, I just do?
Well, it's something I'd be able to answer. It's not so much a shape change as it is a very effective glamour.
Okay.
That affects things on a like tangible level. It's not just an illusion. It is a disguise you put on over yourself.
Like a hard light, holographic kind of. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Is it okay, Ryan, if that bleeds over, like before you sort of get a hold of what's going on, that you actually give Sarah that insight as to how your ability works?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you don't want to, we could do like a resist roll and do that.
That's fine.
Okay.
And then he'll add a thought after. You got that one for free. If you want to know more about Fey magic, we can talk, but it's not going to be free.
I was just wondering. You just said it out loud in my head.
Okay.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
So back to Ryan in this booth, I think like towards the back of the bar, Sarah maybe at the bar,
Yeah.
talking shop with the bartender there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sarah, are you trying to have a conversation with the bartender? Or are you trying to just like have a quiet drink by yourself and be alone? Like what's your vibe at the bar?
She probably like exchanges nice pleasantries and then just kind of leaves the bartender alone. Like,
Okay.
lets them do their job.
Okay, cool. For what it's worth, the bartender does not give any sort of cop vibe themselves. And I'd say he's probably like 50-something, white guy, and like must have gone gray way early because it's like stark white, but full head of hair. And but looks like he probably lifts in his spare time. Like he's pretty solid dude. Pretty small, like 5'9" probably, but sorry, I
Rude.
I should
Right?
I should cut those jokes short. So
All right. Okay.
but yeah, otherwise he does like he like glances back at you a couple times, that's
Oh yeah, she's a good looking lady. She's,
yeah. And
like
she's
Helen
like 60.
Mirren-esque.
Yeah. So this is not outside of a normal age range, and there's no ring on his hand. Like some people don't wear a ring to work, but you're definitely getting a like I probably shouldn't hit on my customers thing, like that's awkward. But we'll just put that in the background. And the two detectives come in, Ryan, and see you. They see O'Hare in the booth, and they just head straight back to you. They don't order drinks. They don't even really say hi to other cops in the bar. So it doesn't seem like they're super well known or liked, right? That's what we like. Maybe they're well known and not liked, or they're not. They could be liked, but nobody really knows who they are. But whatever that is, they don't really talk to anybody on their way through. They sort of acknowledge the bartender, but he doesn't like set drinks out for them or anything. They just go and they sit. So Stevenson, the guy, gets in next to you, and Richardson sits across from you. So you're trapped in the booth, right?
Okay.
At least as far as they're concerned. And they just immediately, so, they're speaking very quietly, and they say, "All right, O'Hare, what is it? What can you tell us?"
So first, as O'Hare tries to start speaking, I would like to accidentally knock over my drink, so I have to mop it up, so I can maybe touch both of their hands and add them to my book of faces.
Okay, I think you can get Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy, Steven Stevenson. But Emily Richardson like jerks back from the spill, and gets her hands out of it. So I
that's fine. As long as I got one of them, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Look, this is making me feel really, really uncomfortable.
Just tell us what do you have?
All right. Well, they're not happy about what happened at the bowling alley. Their person they're getting these heads for is apparently even less happy than they are, and they have to try to run interference.
They don't want the heads for themselves?
Well, I mean, I don't. That's not. Apparently
O'Hare.
not. All right. Okay. Yes. And I'm going to try to recreate the feeling that I got when I had to tell Sarah the truth. Try to recreate that same kind of cadence.
Yeah, and actually you can hear like Emily, like the timbre of her voice changes a little bit as she like pitches the question to you very specifically, and like, oh, she thinks she's triggering her spell. right? And says, O'Hare, who are they giving these heads to? And is like, believes that she's engaging her spell.
I honestly don't know. They didn't tell me, they didn't give me a name, but whoever it is was not happy.
All right.
So they are having a meeting tonight at the place of business that Bell owns. And yeah, they're gonna meet there.
So Stevenson next to you looks like brows furrow a little bit, looks not sure, looks to Emily and says, are you sure it's still working? And she says, all right, hold on. And she pulls a little disc of quartz out of her pocket that actually doesn't look see-through. It's like, that like sparkly white quartz that you find on the beach. It's like a disc like the size of a $50. And she holds it up to her eye. And to you, it just obscures her eye. But her body language is that she's looking at you through this thing that doesn't seem like it lets light through. But she looks you up and down, puts it back in her pocket, and just nods at him. He's like, yeah. So they did actually double check that the spell was on.
You monster. So that's what I've got. Like, I don't know what more you want from me. Like, I've cooperated with you. I don't really appreciate being roughed up in my office, in my lab.
Well, you should have thought of that before making deals with criminals.
Fine.
Sarah, can you roll plus power for me, please?
Yes. That is a 12.
Okay. So Detective Richardson, Emily, just whipped out a like phenomenally powerful artifact that you recognize as the Eye of Salt. And you're like, wait, the Eye of Salt is real? And she has it like in her jacket pocket? What? It's not actually salt. Like, you've read about it before. It's called that because it's that sort of white, rough texture of quartz. But it's, and it's known to, like, reveal enchantments and all kinds of things. There's a lot of rumors and myths about it, but, it'd be fun to find out what it really does. Or, like, you could sell it for, like, $1 million. Like, it's so valuable. And it doesn't seem like she understands what she has in her pocket.
Well, this is the corruption showing itself. I'm gonna, like, mentally tell Ryan, hey, Ryan, you see that thing she looked at you with? You want me to take this hex off of you? Help me get that thing.
Maybe at Bell's shop. That would be a good place. Something tells me stealing in the middle of a comp bar is not going to be the best way out of this.
Yes, Bell's shop, yes.
Ryan's going to kind of look down at the table and acknowledge what Stevenson had just said to him, or them. It's like, you're right. I shouldn't have gotten involved with them. I got in over my head. And working with you was the right thing to do.
Okay, I'm going to have you go ahead and roll mislead.
Yeah, and I get to roll that with heart.
And I'm going to have you roll with advantage because they believe you're under a spell.
Hooray! I want that one. All right, that is an 8 on the dice, plus heart is 2 is a 10.
Ooh, all right. You lay into it. The mislead, let's make sure we follow that move. Oh my gosh. I should split these into 2 documents again.
Where is it?
Oh, there we
it
go.
is, second
Page
page,
11, yeah. Yeah. So you get to pick 3. Which 3 things would you like there?
Well, I would like to confuse them for some time,
Yep.
just to keep up the ruse. I would like to expose a weakness or flaw of theirs.
Okay.
Maybe something that we can use in the upcoming conflict.
Yep.
And I'd like to create an opportunity, but I'm not sure how. But like, maybe.
Well, here, let me
Yeah.
let me respond to these in order, and then you
Sure.
can decide which one you want to go for. So
Yeah.
the confuse them for some time, I would have insisted on that, but that is the effect that you're having, right? They now believe your story about needing to meet you at the shop and all of that. The expose a weakness or flaw. The thing you're now absolutely sure of is they have a number of magical artifacts that they've collected that they don't really understand how they work, right? They've learned the keyword or the gesture or the little thing to activate it, but they don't understand how magic works, right? They're just like they're technically in way over their heads. They actually have a lot of power and influence, and their confidence is through the roof, but they actually don't understand how any of the magic items work. And they have at least 3 or 4 things on them each. All different artifacts. So, okay, so with those 2 things, that leaves either avoiding further entanglement or creating an opportunity. But given that information, what would you like to do?
I would like to create an opportunity, and effectively, I'd like to try to create an opportunity to make the Eye of Salt easier to get. I don't know, I don't know how that translates. But that would be my number one choice, is to either maybe have, I don't know if there's a way to get it put in a more easily accessible pocket or something to that nature.
Okay. I'm going to give you the opportunity to fairy dazzle them a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And then I know we got to wrap up here pretty soon, but I'm interested in persuade an NPC.
Okay.
Unless you have a fairy power that would be good for this.
Well, I do. I have Bedlam, which I can touch a target to place them in a specific emotional state, my choice. I can mark corruption to have that emotion directed towards a target of my choosing.
Yeah. Okay. I think that would work fine. Yeah, but Bedlam would definitely. She might just brain fart and put it in the wrong pocket, because she had it in an inside pocket. But if she just puts it in the jacket pocket, that's super easy for you to try to pickpocket her.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna put a hand on her hand and say, thank you for helping me see the light and, try to straighten my life out. And I'm going to impose the idea of distracted or kind of out of it.
Yep.
So she would hopefully put the crystal in an easy for her to reach pocket instead of putting it in a more secure pocket.
Okay. Now there's no roll for Bedlam, right?
Nope. I do have to mark a corruption or give something to my patron.
Okay.
So I'm just going to mark that corruption.
Okay, so then there won't be a hard move associated on a 6-, but I want you to roll plus wild.
Yeah.
And we'll just see how good a spot she puts it in.
That is a 9 on the dice, plus my wild circle is a 10.
Okay.
My dice are apparently making up for how they rolled last night.
Oh yeah, that was horrific. Joey and I were in a little play test, and
they were angry.
They were so mad at you. I wanted to sit further away from you. This is not good. We were in person at someone's house, everybody, playing an RPG at a
Insane.
table.
That's so
Magical.
nice.
I know,
That's so
right?
wonderful.
It was magical. Okay, so Steven doesn't notice because he's already kind of checking the door and like it's the vibe is like, all right, let's get ready to go. And Emily is like a little thrown off that you're being so grateful. Like, oh, didn't expect that vibe. And goes to put it in her pocket, but you hear it like flop onto the vinyl of the seat next to her. It doesn't even make it into her pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It just like flap. That soft little just pat of onto the seat. But she's keeping her eyes on you and does not realize that that's happened. And,
Oh, that's lovely.
as soon as it's off of her person, Sarah, this presence just like fills the room of this like incredibly powerful item that is now not owned by anyone. That's what was cloaking it, right? Is like, oh, this is this. It was bonded to her, and now she's dropped it.
Get out of the booth. Get out of the booth.
So Ryan, do you want to try and walk them out?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And-
yeah, we should get going. They're gonna meet at dusk, and it's pretty much dusk, and I want to make sure you get those ne'er-do-wells.
Okay. So I really thought you were going to say nerds.
Nerds.
Okay. So yeah, Ryan, you walk them out, and right away, one of the waitresses who looks like she's probably the bartender's daughter, like the biological resemblance is very strong, Sarah. But she's already headed over to that booth to try to clean it up.
I'm gonna go over there.
Okay. You head over there, and she kind of like just, oh, here, let me wipe that down for you. There's a beer on the table, and let me just clean it up for you first.
Oh, no worries. I have been a bartender for 45 years, and
Wow.
I've worked everywhere. I don't mind helping you. And she's just gonna like sit down in the side where the thing is left,
Okay.
and like block it from that lady's view, and just like start helping her clear up the table. I don't mind at all, honey. Like, it's fine. You guys work really hard here. Is that your dad at the bar?
Okay, so just because I know we got to get going, is everyone okay for a couple minutes, or do we need to get out right away?
Yeah.
Couple minutes,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. I mean, no. If we need to go, that's okay to say, but no pressure. But okay. So I'm gonna have you roll persuade an NPC. You do get to roll with advantage, because of the bartender thing, and she believes that. But also Sarah's kind of a weirdo, and
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
and I would just want to see how well she can relate to this gal, as like a regular human being. Now that Sarah's so deep into wizardry,
What am I rolling with?
a heart.
Ooh.
That's why I thought she might struggle. Is it 0 or -1?
It's 0.
Okay.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
Hey.
Whee!
The advantage helped.
Yes.
Okay. What would have the roll been without your highest die? What were the 2 lower dice?
Oh, I forgot to roll a third one.
Oh.
I didn't hear you say roll with advantage.
Oh yeah,
Here,
yeah.
let's-
Roll with advantage.
I rolled a 5 and a 2.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 5.
Oh, so you got a 10.
I get
Yeah.
a 10.
Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
you crushed it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so there was a flicker, like when you asked about her dad, there was a moment of like, that's a weird question, but it turns into, maybe I can set him up, right? Like, it's Dream Daddy, episode 1.
Yes.
Isn't it like the daughter is trying to get her dad out dating, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Yeah. So she actually like slides into the booth across from you and is like wiping up a little bit. She's like, let me tell you, my dad is awesome. He's like super generous with his time here. He's hardworking. He's been doing this for, like, she just is going on and on about his career as a bartender. Also makes it clear he's never been a cop, right? Like, Oh,
Okay.
also, she even tells you the story. He did not mean for this to be a cop bar. Like, it just was like kind of in the wrong place, and he didn't realize that this was going to happen. And then some cops came, and then more cops came, and then it just kind of turned into that. And it's
Gotcha.
once it's hard to get rid of them once they show up. It's a real pest. But she's just really leaning into telling you this story, and you're very easily, you could just like get this thing out of the like wedge of the seat and pocket it and
Right in my pocket. And that she is interestingly like listening to the story. She's like, he was very cute.
Yep. Okay, cool.
And I'll give her like a nice tip, and just in with the bills is her phone number.
Nice. Very subtle. I love it. Okay, we'll just log that away for later. And
and make sure to ask her the bartender's name.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to name it.
I will come up with something later. So we have something better than Steven Stevenson.
I love it.
Okay. So the game is afoot. Ryan is leading the detectives back to Bell's. Sarah, you'll have to take your own cab back this time. But you are connected to Ryan. I'm just going to leave that open for the duration here until you re-roll for centering. What's it called? Channeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got redeem name. We're gonna go Fergus. I'll come up with Fergus something.
Ferguson.
Nope.
It is now.
But I like Fergus as a name. That's good. We'll work with that.
Excellent.
Okay. So yeah. And Asmita and Belle, you're posted up at the shop, just kind of ready, right?
Just waiting.
Is the plan to jump them when they show up, or actually have some sort of faux meeting to get...
No, definitely walk in the door, grabby grab.
Okay.
At least that's my plan. I don't know.
Is that
about
the impression
Asmita.
everyone had?
So, I mean, we obviously don't actually have a meeting with Pancakes.
Yeah.
Unless, actually, I might... Look, here's the thing.
I love sentences that start with that. See, what
I'm part
happened
of your
was...
contract now. And Pancakes has been tracked back to... Like, that tracker was in the bag. And so it makes perfect sense to me that she would need to know that there are cops after her. And
in the interest of full disclosure...
And that's who the tracker came from.
Yeah.
So she is part of this, and it's within her rights as part of this deal to know that we are moving on the cops that have a problem with her.
My plan was to give her all of it at the end and say, hey, we discovered that these particular cops were tracking you.
But we already know that part.
But we don't know for whom or for why or how far they've gotten. And, like, I feel like finding that out so that we can give her more information.
But we've already set up a fictional meeting with Pancakes. If Pancakes was actually here, that's just a bonus for us and for her if she wants it. So I'm going to invite Pancakes to your shop tonight.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay.
Also,
but
they have heads. She needs heads.
Pancakes and her shooty friends are not my friends. So I'm concerned. But clearly I don't have a say in what Asmita does. So this is going to be great.
But for context, it's important to define that Belle was saying, like, okay, so let's have it just be us and then we'll contact Pancakes after. And Asmita is like, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and let her know.
Yep.
And Belle's like, fuck. Is that accurate?
This would just be the best. Like, I disagree that it's the best course of action.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
All the information from the other person that we're in this arrangement with.
Okay.
I understand, but we don't have all of the information. I think it was more like me saying to Asmita, So Esmita, I think we should just keep this between ourselves. And Esmita being like, I told Pancakes 20 minutes ago.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. That's great.
This is like as soon as we formed the plan for the meet to be with Pancakes, I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
let me turn this into a real meeting.
And Esmita would, if Pancake said like, like, can I bring a second with me? Like just because she doesn't want to go by herself. Would you have okayed that? Like if she wanted to bring one of her gang with her?
Yeah, I think one.
Okay.
But I am going to be like, let's not make this a whole thing. Trying to keep it more low key.
Yeah, okay. We won't shoot if we don't have to. That's
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, with the understanding that they are cops and they do leave paper trails, and like we don't want to murder the cops at Bell's, because that just is like a whole like it's not just leaving a trail of breadcrumbs. That's like we laid down airline landing strips.
Here we go, everybody. Yep, right over here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, low key, but this does intimately involve you and your group. If you want to bring a second, just make sure there's somebody without a happy trigger finger.
Yeah.
Itchy trigger finger, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Either way. Okay. Well, I think we've got a great setup for where to start next week. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I am once again hearing the music from the end of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yep.
Everybody converging on this one spot and
Yep.
then cutting to Reginald. Just like staring at the box of mice across the room. Yeah, this is great. So let's go around and tell the good people where they can find you and your work. Jay.
Hello, y'all. You can find me on the interwebs, primarily on the Twitters, at jholtham. You can also find me playing games every other Monday with two of the people in this game, with Happy Jacks in the Yuma Station Traveler game. And you can also find me playing with one of the other people in this game regularly on 12-Sided Stories, new episodes dropping on Fridays.
And Sam?
Hello, I'm Sam. Also known as Red Pandroid on the internets. You can also find me on Happy Jacks playing in Yuma Station. Our Vampire 5e game is going to be making a reappearance soon as well.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. So join us for that.
Okay. Pooja?
Hi, I'm Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at LADesigirl, LADESI girl, and on all the other socials as Forgotten Saves. I am the other person who plays with Jay on 12-Sided Stories. We're currently just released episode 2 of our new Call of Cthulhu Otherworld Seattle. And like two other people in this campaign, I will be making a triumphant return for the Glittering Night, our Vampire 5e campaign tomorrow on Happy Jacks RPG.
I like to say my cast gets around. I think that's the like normal way to say what this is like, right?
It's like
that's
one big love TTRPG orgy that is constantly happening in different permutations.
Yeah, definitely TTRPG orgy. Definitely not.
I mean, it is a pandemic.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And Joey.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey. You can find me on all the socials now at Feywild85, FEYWILD85. Very excited to come back to Glittering Night tomorrow at 4:00 Pacific Standard Time on Happy Jack's website. Super stoked. Where you can see me play another kind of captain of Team Fuck Around. I have a brand and I'm here for it. But yeah, hope to see you there, and hopefully some more stuff coming down the pipe soon.
Awesome. And again, my name is Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. I stream here Wednesdays and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then every other Monday in the Yuma Station game, including, did you say already this coming Monday? I think somebody said that. But yep, so in just a couple days, we're back on Happy Jacks RPG, or you can go to happyjacks.org /shows to see all. I've been most of us have been in a bunch of stuff over at Happy Jacks, so there's that. If you're not watching 12-Sided Stories, Otherworld Seattle, I'm angry with you and I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's very fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. And it's like, when that pops up in my podcast list, I tell everybody, all the other episodes, hold on, you're not this important. And I move it to the top. So, it's a lot of fun and you're missing out if you're not watching that. It's very goofy and good. And I think that's it for us today.
My favorite reaction to date to Otherworld Seattle was definitely one of our listeners. Like, Oven does like a little recap of what happened. And the last sentence of episode 2's recap was, Saint Spider, the 90s were not the Stone Age.
Yep, accurate.
Can confirm I was there. That's great though, because I think I mentioned I was in high school in the early 90s in Seattle, so that whole like grunge vibe is my DNA. So very much thank you, Dorklo Canada. Welcome to It's Probably OK's TTRPG Polycule. This is you're here now, so sorry, I hope you like us. Okay, so I'm going to set up a raid over to Go Jess. If you're not familiar with her stuff, she's a queer variety streamer, does a lot of fun stuff over there. Oh, that's not how you do a raid command. I've done this before. Trust me, I'm a doctor. And you should definitely head over there, say hi for us, and I hope you have a good week. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.